You have an extraordinary history with its hard times, have dropped into the third tier, dropped into League One for a time. But even there, they enjoyed massive support, and they're out in great numbers again at Ellen Road tonight. And it's only 2 points clear of the relegation zone and involved in a relegation scrap right until the final day of last season. West Ham have finished 6th and 7th in the past 2 seasons. They are now involved in a big struggle to stay out of the bottom 3. The first action of the new year for both Leeds United and West Ham United will start 2023. And the results, if not performances, must improve, but they're to move towards Premier League safety. A draw at Newcastle on Saturday has given Leeds and their vocal support some encouragement, but the prospect of a relegation scrap remains very real for West Ham, who continue to back David Moyes in the belief that his top-flight experience will enable them to pull away from trouble. The goalless draw at Inform Newcastle on Saturday was the perfect end to 2022 for Jesse Marsh, who had been concerned about the goals Leeds were conceding. It's the same back four behind Ilan Melier. But there is a change in midfield with Mark Rocket in for Adam Forshaw, who he replaced at half-time at St James's Park. 2 changes for Leeds. Asensio Somerville is in for Jack Harrison, who once scored a hat-trick against the Hammers at the London Stadium. Scorer Rodrigo clocks up his 100th league game. It's a 100th league appearance for goalkeeper Elliott. West Ham's pre-match preparations have been overshadowed by the death of co-chairman David Gold. But David Moyes knows his team now need to focus on ending a 5-game losing streak. It's a back 4 again, rather than a back 3 with Rico or Tilo Kehrer, and a first Premier League start for the Moroccan international, Naïf Aguer. Thomas Soucek was left out for the first time this season for Friday's 2-0 home victory by Brentford. Soucek is back, along with Pablo Fornals, his first Premier League start since mid-October. Fornals in behind Gianluca Scamacca, who's now gone 7 games without a goal. Cresswell, O'Donnell, then Rana and Everson before he dropped to the bench. West Ham players wearing black armbands during the announcement of the death earlier today. And the co-chairman, David Gold. David Coote is our referee this evening. Last time he was at Allen Road was in December 2021, a feisty 2-2 draw when Leeds played at Brentford. He was successful at the London Stadium against West Ham on Friday evening. Huge evening for both these teams. West Ham desperate to stop the rot. Leeds looking again to Asensio Somerville. What a game to start 2023. And what a night for the Premier League's bottom 4. So the bottom 3 going into this evening. Southampton and Nottingham Forest. And let's see where is Wolves go to Aston Villa. And West Ham at the end of the night could drop into the relegation zone if they fail to end. They've run out 5 straight defeats. There's a slight hold up because there is a concern about the VAR communication. Each night for the Hammers, given their recent run, and West Ham as a club would like to mark the passing of co-chairman David Gold with a much needed win. It's a horrible run, isn't it?
It's a difficult run for them, but the last 2 visits to the road have been victorious. They've won the last twice that they've been here. The big boys as a manager. He's on a very, very good run. 4 visits as a manager. 1-3 and draw 1.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to KUMB TV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. We are back for another Premier League encounter, and I'll be with you in just a second. Running a bit late, as you can probably tell tonight. Yes, good evening. Welcome to Eyes Up Mother Brown. Leeds United versus West Ham United. There we go. We're on telly, and the game's kicked off. We're a minute in. It's 0-0. You'll be pleased to know. And just getting ready. We do have live commentary for you. I'm just about to be joined by another member of the KUMB team in the shape of Rio. I'm just about to pull up on the screen. But West Ham playing in our traditional claret and claret kit. We're just giving the ball away, and this is dangerous. Leeds breaking into the box. Now that's a really, really good tackle by Naifa Gerd, who's back in the team tonight. He's come across Rodrigo. It's not a dissimilar tackle to the one that saw him injured at Rangers and in the World Cup finals. He's come across his player, put his leg out, won the ball as Rodrigo's racing into the penalty box and put it out for a Leeds corner. Rio, I do apologise, mate. I'll get you on in just a minute. But it's a Leeds corner, 2 minutes in. Welcome to KUMB TV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. Good to have you with us tonight. Let us know what you think of the what your predictions are for this evening. Leeds with the corner, floated into the near post, headed out at the near post by Lucas Paqueta, who's wearing a rather fetching pair of gloves tonight, along with Pablo Fornals. Now, I should just point out there were some questions as to how West Ham are going to be lining up this evening. Looks like Pablo Fornals is indeed playing as a left wing back this evening. Now, I'm just going to shuffle across here. I'm bringing a man like Rio onto the screen. There he is. How you doing, Rio? Good to see you, buddy.
Oh, mate, you're right. Yeah, not bad.
I'm good. I'm just going to resize you so we can get you up.
I've done that 45 years ago.
Yeah. So 3 minutes gone. It's Leeds 0, West Ham 0. Rio, I was just talking about. Sorry, excuse my manners. How are you, buddy? How you doing?
Yeah, all right. I just went online and the stream's just gone out. Would you believe it?
Great timing. All right, I'll keep everyone up to date then until you can get back on. But anyway, Leeds are kicking on our screens from left to right. West Ham the other way around on the telly because it's obviously reversed. West Ham kicking from right to left. There you go, and it's 0-0. Yes. So Rio, just looking at this team tonight. Obviously, as I was just saying, hang on, we've just got Leeds breaking on the right hand side. Ball put into the box. Naifa Gerd plays it short to Tommy Soucek, who clears the danger. Rio, we were talking about the team, weren't we, tonight? And there seems to be a lot of question marks as to where Pablo Fornals, in particular, was going to be playing. But tell us what you've seen so far from the lineup. How you see David Moyes playing this tonight?
Well, I ain't really seen a lot of the game so far, but looking just at the lineup on its own, you just automatically assume he's going to slot in as a kind of left wing back, which with Emerson and Cresswell both on a bench seemed really bizarre. Yeah. So I'm obviously trying to battle to find some actual video footage at the moment, but once I get that, I'll let you know my actual my recognition of it all. But
all right, well. Yeah, do let us know, mate. West Ham are through here, and now this is a good chance for Skamaka. He's in the box. Can he get a shot away? Great chance for Skamaka. Oh, closed down. Cut inside from the left hand. So got into the box. Leeds a little bit loose defensively. Skamaka got into the box, cut inside, couldn't quite get a shot away, closed down by 3 Leeds players. In fact, he's been given offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. But yeah, I mean, better from West Ham. We need to. Skamaka needs to have a bit of a game tonight, Rio, doesn't he? He was kind of woeful against Brentford, a little bit just out of the game.
Yeah, he didn't have the greatest of games. There's a lot of potential there, but it's just about harnessing it, isn't it? And we don't really seem to know how to utilise these new players, and that's the really worrying thing. But no, he's got plenty of ability. One thing I did like, we was a bit bereft of goal scoring opportunities the other night.
Yeah,
he least can go. He's not afraid to have a shot, even if he's out off form. Now we need to get him fit and firing and absolutely buzzing for this team to actual gel and click. And it's just not happening at the moment. No,
it's not. But hopefully we can get him firing on all cylinders pretty soon. Hopefully tonight, because this is a game. What do you make of this, Rio? I mean, there's obviously been an awful lot of discussion in recent days about David Moyes' position. We all saw the Jacob Steinberg piece in the Guardian. Jacob obviously used on the ball when it comes to West Ham. Suggested, it certainly looked like the time may well be running out for him. What's your view on what happens tonight if Moyes, West Ham don't win here this evening? Could that be the end, do you think?
I really do think it could be the end. I know I hate to say it and I hate to bring up another significant event that's happened in West Ham wise today. This could prove to be maybe a little bit of a stay of execution if results don't go the way that he wants to. But from a purely footballing basis, we've been awful for a whole year now. It's not just in dribs and drabs. We've been absolutely awful in the league for a year. And at this level, and in this modern era, it's unsustainable. And, as much as we already like David Moyes and what he's done for the club, it really just cannot carry on. And we're in a relegation dogfight as it is. Lose tonight, and, there is no other option.
Okay. We're joined by team member number 3. No, we've finally got you on. Good to see you, buddy. Looks like you've got a baguette hanging above your head there. That must be the stairs, but looks like you're about to be bashed on the bonds by a French stick.
I'm trying to find the optimum position seems to be about I don't know. Sort it out.
But what do you make of this situation with Moyes? No, do you think a defeat tonight and that's pretty much it?
It's difficult to sort of keep staying a job when you lose 6 in a row. So I'm just watching now. Declan Rice had just taken a boot to the face from Rodrigo there. I've only just, sorry I'm late, by the way. I just had trouble getting the stream and stuff. And if you lose 6 in a row, it's going to be difficult to sort of justify the position. You're starting to believe things get a bit untenable then, aren't you?
Okay.
I don't know where you are in streams or where I am next to you, but Declan Rice has just taken a boot in the face from Rodrigo, who's got a yellow card for that.
We've just seen him shown. Who's our referee tonight, chaps?
David Coote.
It is Coote, yeah.
The chap we had in the Bournemouth game, where Bournemouth were up in arms because the ball hit Kerr's hand on the way into the first goal, which they decided that was bad. Bournemouth decided that was a bad thing, ignoring the fact that there were 2 blatant penalties as the ball came across. So it was either going to give a penalty or a goal. And, but there again, the way we were missing penalties, I don't know. But we've actually won our last 2. Rice seems to be up and running again. And we've got a free kick as my stream goes down. So
yes, I think we're going to be getting a little bit of that tonight throughout the evening with a because obviously this game isn't being broadcast, as we know, anywhere in the UK. So anyone tuning in, if you're lucky enough to get a stream, you will of course be relying on a almost certainly, I should say, not definitely. I'm sure some of you are viewing by legal means abroad, but probably not the case for anyone viewing in the UK. We're just over 9 minutes in anyway. Declan Rice, as Noam said, is up and running. He's fine. He's okay. Rio, have you had an opportunity to have a look at this team formation and how we're lining up and your thoughts on it?
Well, rather bizarrely, I've actually got a really good stream at the moment. but we've been in the attacking half, so we're not seeing anything in the defensive setup, which is really bizarre. So long may it continue.
Yeah, well, I mean, it certainly looks like that Pablo Fornals is playing on the left side as a wing back tonight. It's something that it's not something that we haven't, or David Moyes hasn't tried before. That's for sure.
I'm not seeing it at the moment because the stream that I had that was running fine is no longer running. So you're gonna have to bear with me because I'm just gonna have to try and find something that doesn't try and download crap to my computer.
Well, we've got West Ham in the opposition half at the moment, looking to break down the right hand side, but nothing really happening. I don't think we've had a shot yet, apart from that effort that was blocked by Knife Agurd. Good to see Agurd back in the lineup at least. I think we might have lost Noam as well. Is Noam frozen? I think he has. It's going well tonight, Rio. Knife Agurd. I'll pass that one over to you. Good to have him back in the starting lineup after the mishaps at the World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the fulcrum of David Moyes' plans this year, and his fleeting appearances in Europe and the cup competitions. He looked really comfortable, really assured, great on the ball. The consummate defender we've been crying out for ages. Yeah. Haven't been fortunate enough with him, have we? The injury up at Ibrox, then goes to the World Cup, again looks outstanding, having to pick up another knock. So, yeah, if we can get him back in the side, constantly fit, and just get a defensive understanding between Agurd and whoever his partner is, so we can get things settled at the back. I know we haven't been conceding that many goals, but it's been very disjointed, and it doesn't help the rest of the side, does it, when we haven't got much confidence in a settled back four? No,
absolutely not. Yeah, as you rightly say, brought in as the linchpin of the defence this year. Of course, David Moyes is, we've been saying this week on the KUMB.com forum, general discussion from hasn't really been able to field his first choice 11 at all yet this season. But hopefully we're kind of getting back to that now. Of course, Zuma, who is we would imagine his natural defensive partner, also out for a few more weeks, but hopefully coming back in soon, as is known, who disappeared briefly, but we appear to have managed to get him back on the stream. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a night like that all round. But anyway, I hope wherever you are in the world, you're managing to get the stream and watch the game. If not, as I said, we will be taking you through it for the rest of the evening. Stick with us here on KUMB. We have live streams as we look at Tilo Kehrer putting a cross from the left. Declan Rice tries a shot. It's an outswinger. It's actually gone wide of the target and fallen to Jared Bowen, who keeps the ball in play, keeps the ball moving. Lovely little 1-2 between the hammers. Cross comes in for the right. It's just too deep though, and Pablo Fornals now picks it up. Can he? Tilo Kehrer, picks it up. Can he put it back in? Played into the channel. That's just going to be a little bit too long, I think, for the German. And 13 minutes gone. It remains at Leeds 0, West Ham United. Now, interesting to see. Noam, have you got your stream back there?
No, not yet. I'm working on. Yeah, I mean, I've got 5 minutes out of one, and then it prompts a big sort of block thing in front of my screen saying you need to log in and sign away your grandmother. And so,
well, I can tell you that West Ham have won a corner. I mean, we although we couldn't get that ball in a few moments ago, we had won a corner, one possession straight back. So let's just stick with that for a minute. Dawson up there, Agurd up there, Skamaka, some big guns up there. Pablo Fornals is going to take this from West Ham's left. And let's just see what happens. 13 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Cross delivered. It's a decent one into the middle. It's cleared out as far as Paqueta gets a shot on target, blocked by the penalty shot spot. Paqueta puts his hand up, asking for a penalty. Never going to get one there. And West Ham have a throw on now on the other side of the pitch. What do you think of this lineup tonight, Noam? You please. I mean, it doesn't seem to be a lot of attacking players out there tonight, which I think was one of the criticisms levelled by a lot of the people on the forum.
Yeah, it does look a bit defensive. Sorry, I had a few internet problems quite apart from the stream. I got disconnected from the web a couple of minutes ago. But did we ever sort out how it's looking at the back? Because we got, obviously Kehrer, Agurd and Dawson are all capable of playing in the middle, with only one proper fullback there, Soufal. So the way the BBC had us lining up had Agurd at left back, which I'm not sure that seems quite right. So, yeah, given that I'm still trying to find somewhere I can watch this, how is it looking?
Rio, have you managed to get in yet?
Yeah, I've got a stream. It's quite a nice one actually.
I'll let Rio take that question then, no, because I've been banging on for the last 10 minutes on my own.
Yeah, we've actually been in the Leeds half more than we have in our own half, which is an absolute miracle still. So we haven't really seen much of the defensive setup. But Pablo's been kind of rolling down left-hand side. So I'm still presuming he's acting as a bit of a... Well, actually, just saying that, we just had the ball knocking around the back. And Theo Kerr was hanging very much on the left wing. So it looks like it could be a bit fluid here. But Kerr, just at the moment, I just saw very much on the left wing. As left back, kind of left wing back. Great.
It's gone again, is it? I'm just picking up on that, Rio. Kerr is definitely playing on the left side. Definitely playing on the left side. Yeah. So I'm assuming this is a four-man defence. Just having a look across now, you've got Kerr wide out on the left-hand side. So that's no Emerson, no Cresswell. Whether there's any injury issues there, I'm not sure. Perhaps if anyone's heard anything on the live chat, anyone joining us on the stream has heard anything, let us know, because we were obviously trying to get up and running before the stream started. But let's just keep with this for a minute, because West Ham have got the ball on the right-hand side. Soufal looks to get one in. The cross is blocked, but he regains possession. It comes back to Declan Rice. Nothing happened at the moment, so we'll come back to that if it does. It's definitely looks like Kerr at left back, Agard, and Dawson at Soufal at the back. Declan Rice sitting quite deep. Rice just spraying the ball out now to Jarrod Bowen on the right-hand side. I'm not quite sure. That's a lovely little touch by Paqueta to Bowen. He gets a cross in, and it's a good centre. And Craig Dawson, sorry, it's not Dawson, it's Tommy Soucek. So my stream isn't brilliant today. Almost very, very close to putting West Ham ahead. We're still in the ascendancy. Kerr puts a cross into the box. It's cleared out, but Leeds. I hate the term "there for the taking," known, but Leeds certainly look there for the taking tonight from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to take your word for it. I cannot find anything that doesn't want to do nasty things to my computer at the moment. So, but I mean, to be honest, first half against Brentford, I thought we were by far the better team. It's what I don't want to see us do is if we go 1-0 down, that's when we get problems, because we've got, whereas before, if we went 1-0 down, last time we were up here, we came back. We sort of rolled our sleeves up. Thought, right, well, we're going to, still going to get something out of this, and lo and behold, we did. Whereas, as soon as we went behind against Brentford, particularly the second goal, the heads went down. It was like,
Yeah. Well, we're 18 minutes in. I think. I mean, you mentioned Brentford. I'm doing it again. Brentford there now. I mean, it's actually a very similar start. We definitely look like the team most likely to do something today. And say Leeds, their only real attack so far has been that break down the right-hand side, which Naif Agard managed to break up. West Ham looking, I mean, was it yourself or Rio? I think Rio mentioned the word fluid a few moments ago, and that's a really apt description of the way West Ham are looking tonight. Kehrer getting forward on the left hand. What do you make of that, Rio? Tilo Kehrer playing at left back. I mean, I guess you'd have to assume there's some sort of injury issue with Cresswell and Emerson.
I don't know. I think he's played the German national side. I think he's made one or two sporadic appearances. He's not a natural left footer, as we know.
Yeah,
but he's quite adept anywhere across the back. Equally capable of making the balls up from anywhere. So,
yes,
this time, he's going to complete the set. Yeah,
I suppose that's it. Now he's done a lot, hasn't he? He's played all across the back now, but definitely starting at left back tonight. Naif Agard with Dawson, good strong central defence. That you'd have to say, and Vladimir Soufal on the right hand side. So just having a look at the midfield. I'm not quite sure how we're playing the centre at the moment. Not really had a good chance to look at it in terms of Rice, Paqueta, and Soucek, but definitely looking very solid in the middle, and it's worked well so far. Soufal just conceding a free kick there, putting his foot into the Achilles of the of the Leeds player, and there's nothing much in it, but it's a free kick anyway. So Leeds will have a free kick from the right. The player's still down, clutching his head as if he's been shot in the back. Sufal looks a little bit bemused by it all, as you would expect. Gnome, how's that stream doing? Are you back on?
Yeah, not a hope.
Nothing happening yet. Okay, well, we'll
Everyone I get, you open it and it says, and you get a sort of tantalising glimpse, and then suddenly all sorts of, you need to install this, that, and the other, which you've got no intention of doing.
No. Can you jump onto a company owned by Elon Musk and just search West Ham live streams?
Which one of the 15 million companies you got? Let's have a look.
Leeds on the attack down the left-hand side at the moment. Sufal again has been very busy managing to clear the ball. Well, gentlemen, we should say hello to our the rest of the team who are joining us on the live chat, I guess. Really, let's say some hellos. Who have we got on? Who have we got on tonight? You have to bear with me because I'm changing mice tonight. I've got this old thing that's on its last legs, unfortunately, and it's very temperamental. So I do apologise. We've got Steve Palmer, Nick, Craven, Polaroid, Dan, Hobo, Tenors, Bob Claret, Tony Mitchell, and who else? We've got Glenn Marshall's on the stream, Jaden Calland, Dan B, and who else we got on there? I think one or two others anyway. But good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you along with us for the ride. It is Leeds United nil, West Ham United nil. 21 minutes gone. West Ham look pretty good so far in this, what many seem to think is a make or break game for West Ham. No, we haven't mentioned it yet, of course, but some sad news earlier today. David Gold passing away at the age of 86. Nice touch from Leeds. I don't know if you saw it earlier, leaving a... Leeds were just attacking. They look pretty dangerous from it. Leaving a bouquet of flowers on the seat that David Gold would have sat in tonight had he been at the game.
Yeah, nice touch. Yeah, quite sad. I mean, obviously, there'll be a lot of people out there that, will have taken issue with the way that the club's been run, etc. But now is not the time for that. And anybody who sort of delights in the demise of a human being, as far as I'm concerned, really ought to have a look at themselves at the moment. And any other debates are for another time, I think. Maybe I'm just a bit oversensitive to that because I've lost a lot of people in the last 12 months, including quite recently. So, it's quite sad, and obviously thoughts go out to his family.
Let's just come back to the game briefly because Leeds have a free kick about 27, 28 yards out from goal. It looks like it's going to be struck now. So 1, 2, 3 players run over it. It's a clever little dink out to the left. Nicely done that. It's a poor effort, and it's the shot on the volley kicks. Yeah, it's definitely in the ghoulies, that one, Sufal. There's a pained expression he's wearing there. Nice little routine from Leeds, and the Leeds player. He's taken the volley from. Let's have a look. We're going to get a closer. Oh, that's right on the inside of the thigh. Sufal feeling a bit of agony there, but Leeds have a corner anyway. I'll stick with this for a minute as it appears I'm the only one who's currently got a stream. The corner's delivered into the centre of the box. It's too long and it's going to go away for a goal kick for West Ham. 23 minutes gone. Leeds United nil, West Ham United nil. Let us know what you think of the game so far. Everyone on the stream, have we got any predictions coming? Let's have a quick scroll back. Did we get any predictions in earlier on that I might have missed? If you did, give me a nudge. No, I don't think we did. No predictions. That's unusual. But I know we're a quarter of the way through the game, gents. But Rio, what were your thinking about tonight? Were you expecting a win, or you think a point would be a decent result here tonight?
I think a point would be a decent result. Obviously, the way we've been playing doesn't fill me with confidence. But I think out of the run of games we have got coming up, this is probably our most winnable.
Okay.
Recent times we've had a decent record up at Ellen Road. And I'm just hoping that, being away from the London Stadium again, being in a kind of environment where there's a bit of a charged atmosphere up at Ellen Road, but our fans will be giving it as much as theirs. I think that kind of atmosphere, all the kind of things coming out from the club in terms of what Declan Rice has been saying about the squad unity, they're acting together, they're still well drilled as a unit. They're still up for the battle. No, they've got to send out a positive message. And in a really hostile environment, this is the place to prove it. So I think, yeah, out of all the games coming up, this is one I'm most favourable about.
Did you go along with that? No, we've Brentford again at the weekend, but do you think this is the one we're most capable of taking 3 points from?
Certainly, I know we've got our forms will be great, and there's a bit of an atmosphere around at the moment. But certainly, if you look at their form, it hasn't been that great, and certainly on paper the most winnable one. But it all goes down to that sort of mentality. Guys, could one of you send me a link to something that's working for you?
Are you still not getting in? Still no joy?
I've just the one that was working best has got please log in to remove pop-up. Okay.
While we're doing that, we'll just have a quick look at a couple of your predictions. Glenn Marshall going for a 3-3. Mark Pearce 1-1. Steve Palmer 2-1. West Ham to beat Dirty Leeds. We'd certainly take that, wouldn't we? Dirty Leeds are breaking on the right-hand side as we speak. West Ham caught out a little bit, but the play held up and West Ham able to get back and defend in numbers. Played down the right-hand side. The cross is going to come over. It is delivered to the far post. And it looks like it's going to be a goal kick for West Ham. Now, there's a Leeds player lying down in the centre of the box, number 7. I'm not quite sure what he's claiming, but it's a West Ham goal kick. Nothing to worry about anyway. And no, it looks like that baguette is back over your head once again.
How about that?
The elsewhere, of course, results have sort of kind of gone our way, Rio, haven't they, since the weekend? And I don't know if you caught Everton last night against Brentford, but as poor as we were in that second half, at least against Brentford, I mean, Everton looked absolutely atrocious. It seemed to me that they were almost giving goals away. It was absolutely dreadful performance.
Haven't actually seen it. I was busy at my usual Tuesday night pub quiz. Also had the darts on the background. But as soon as news of the result came through, now much laughter was had by the congregation of the pub. Let's put it that way. Nice Lampard last night.
Yeah, it looks like there might be one or two managers on the move soon if results don't improve. Now, Leeds are in here and they've scored. Leeds have taken the lead. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. And it's Nonto, the number 29, who scored. Ball played through the centre. West Ham completely caught out. And West Ham are behind. Noam, you were a bit concerned about this, said, we really need to score the first goal, didn't we, tonight? And it's gone against us again.
Yeah, and I was thinking of sort of trying to make myself useful. Let's see how the other scores are going. Forest are 1-0 up down at Southampton as well, which would see us slipping down into the I think that would see us go second from bottom, I think.
Well, just let me come back to the goal briefly, because I hate to tell you, but it's another goal that's emanated from a throw-in. And within 4 passes, it's in the back of the net. This time it's the right-hand side, a little bit further out than the goals against Southampton and Brentford at the weekend. It's played short and then inside to Nonto. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's a silent G. Plays a little 1-2 behind the defence and just slots it beyond Fabianski to put Leeds ahead. It's will we ever learn, Rio? Will we ever learn? Another throw-in.
It's only been like 50 years of my actual life that I've been watching us conceding goals like that. So I think the answer is no, we'll never learn. No one's covered themselves in glory there. I'm not just watching the replay. And Craig Dawson's done a brilliant bit of England v Argentina in 1986 defending. Instead of actually trying to put a challenge in, he's put his arms on his back and basically waffled him through. So, yeah, that's a bit of a shocker, that one. But it's West Ham. This is how we concede goals. We don't make teams earn them. We don't make teams earn by playing scintillating football. We just gift it. And it's the recurring theme of the season.
Unbelievable. Never learn. Dawson all at sea, says Mark Pearce. Backing up what you were saying there, Rio. But Leeds on the attack again. And, we sort of saw West Ham crumble, didn't we? Noam, after that, the first goal, couldn't get back into it. And signs aren't good anyway already tonight.
No, I mean, the story of our sort of recent week, our recent seasons. The position that I mean, you know, how many shots did we have against Leicester, for example? And nothing doing. Brentford first half played them off the park for most of the game, went in 2-0 down. You know, it needs sorting out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you're like this because I just sat on my remote control for the telly a minute ago, and I've ended up on one of these evangelist programs called God TV. I think
We might need to put in a request of the way things are going.
Yeah. So
Leeds,
Or good God TV.
Leeds have just had another shot, by the way. The goal scorer played the ball out onto the left-hand side, but it was volleyed straight at Lucas Fabianski, fortunately for West Ham. But not unlike, I mean, in some ways, Rio, this is almost a carbon copy of last Friday's game against Brentford. We started really, really well again tonight. Looked really good. Conceded, and it looks like we've got the pot a little bit.
Yeah, it's the mentality. As soon as we go goal down, and I think we mentioned this last week, the Arsenal game, we've gone from a team that never looks beaten to a team that doesn't like it has any answers and doesn't know it has to how to win a game. As soon as we go goal down, there's no one actually grabbing the team by the scruff of the neck, gelling them together, geeing them up, trying to win this game. We've played well so far. Let's get back into it. It's all heads down, fingers pointing, very sullen, and the mentality needs to change.
Certainly does. Good thing is, I suppose, there's still an hour left to go now.
On the tablet, but I don't know how long it's going to last because on past performance, it'll be about 5 minutes, and then I'll get a block on it. But at least I've got something. But yeah.
Yeah, you were telling us about the other game. No.
Yeah, Forest have beaten Southampton 1-0. I mean, if I lose this stream, I'll just dip out and I'll stay on here and just keep you up to date with the other games as the scores come in. At least make yourself a little bit useful.
No worries.
But yeah, I've got 32 minutes and 19 seconds on my stream. I don't know how that looks with you.
Yeah, you're a few seconds ahead of me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
At the moment, but anyway, West Ham with the ball. No, not with the ball. Was that a foul throw? Surely not. Declan Rice is complaining, which we've seen an awful lot of recently. Rio, he's actually wagging his finger at the referee. I wonder if where he picked that one up. Where's he been in the last few weeks, where people might do a lot of that?
Pick up bad habits abroad, don't you? Bit of laziness, bit of finger.
Yeah,
I've just seen Leeds going down the right-hand side, and as I say, not the best of pictures, but whoever's playing on the right-hand side has just gone round Kera like he's not there, just cut back and then cut back again, and Kera's just chasing shadows there.
Yeah, it's Aronson, the number 7. I think it's the player you're referring to.
Leeds have got a corner now on their right-hand side. Looks like it's going to be an in-swinger. Flicked across the goal, and ball came out to the edge of the box and put over, and as predicted, that's where I lose the stream.
Well, no, you can be outside correspondent, I guess, then for the for the rest of the games. The ball actually fell. The cross came over, only half cleared to the edge of the penalty spot, where it was volleyed just over the bar. Just trying to see who it was who had the shot, but it's Kera who sort of half cleared the ball, but only, as I say, to the edge of the penalty spot. And it's number 7 again, Aronson, who just beat Kera for pace on the right-hand side, who volleys over, holds his head in his hands because I think he knows he should have at least hit the target from sort of 11, 12 yards. And West Ham probably escaping a little bit there, Rio. But 11 minutes to go to half-time. Rio, what are we making of what we've seen so far?
Yeah, it's typical West Ham at the moment, isn't it? Start brightly, play some nice little football, look a tad threatening, concede a stupid goal, and now we've got the pot. Again, the defending now from the corner, it's Sorensen. He got the other side of Jared Bowen far too easily. And this is where the negativity is going to creep in even more, because people are losing their shape, losing their defensive awareness. That's going to cost us even more in the long run. And there's no digging ourselves out of this hole. We can change your mentality and people to stick to their task. And it's just not happening at the moment.
And as you say that, my stream goes down for the first time this evening. It's all happening. Oh, no, it's come back up. Tilo Kehra's got thrown anyway on the left-hand side, just outside the Leeds penalty box. It looks like my stream's gone on a bit of a loop, so he's taking it for the fourth time now. So let's see if we can pull up another one while this is just doing a bit of a mad loop. No, I'm not going to see what happens.
Well, I'll update you with all the scores that we got so far. None of them particularly great for us. It's Southampton 0, Forest 1. Obviously, we're 1-0 down up at Leeds. Villa 0, Wolves 1. And Palace Spurs is 0-0. So as that stands, as it stands, table comes up, we're now second from bottom.
There's a chance for West Ham. Sorry, no, just coming in there. The ball played into the centre, and Lucas Paqueta had a half chance there. The ball coming from the left-hand side. Paqueta bursting through the centre. Let's have a look. It's Fornals cut inside on his right. Put a lovely little ball into the box. It's a poor first touch from Paqueta. No more than 8-9 yards out. Could have tried to take it on his chest. Just didn't quite get hold of it, and in the end ran the ball out and over the line. But better from West Ham. Sorry, no, back to you.
Yeah, just saying that as it stands, Southampton will be bottom. We're on 12 points. We're 2 points above them on 14. 1 point, which is 1 point behind Everton, who have 15. And then going up, it'd be Bournemouth 16, Wolves 16, Forest 17, Leicester 17, and Leeds 19. Yeah, clearly. Yeah, something needs sorting out. I don't know how many minutes we are now, but you know, it doesn't appear good enough. I mean, you're seeing it and you're telling me it's bad. I can quite believe it.
Well, West Ham. Oh, that's so close. Well, this kind of sums up our season, I guess. Really, long ball played over the top to the right-hand side. Jared Bowen challenges the Meslier, the goalkeeper, comes way out of his box. Vladimir Soufal, of all people, Rio's face, has tried to lob the goalkeeper from 50 yards just inside his own box. And I'll tell you what, Rio, that's not far away. That's what, a yard over the crossbar? It's landed on top of the net.
Yeah, I think Soufal's, the words that he said as soon as the ball landed on top of the net summed it up for me. Because I think he said in good old Anglo-Saxon English, something close, something like that. But yeah, what a wonderful goal that would have been. And you know, that's the kind of luck we need, something like that to kind of break. But yeah, fantastic effort, very close. And if they'd broken his West Ham duck by getting that would have been amazing.
What a goal!
Not often we'll mention Soufal in the same breath as Pele, I suppose.
Well, I mean, you're right. It was quite Pele-esque. He saw Meslier out of his goal, and I mean, it was banging the centre of the goal. As I say, as Rio was just saying, it's no more than a couple of feet over too long, a tad short, and that's nesting in the back of a very empty net, with a very embarrassed Meslier running back towards his goal. But I guess that just sums up our season, though, doesn't it? It's just our kind of luck. These little things just aren't falling our way.
Yeah, just a bit of luck would be nice.
It would, wouldn't it? Just something. Just, you know, give us something to hang on to. Leeds 1, West Ham United 0. 39 minutes gone now. Leeds with a goal kick, the only goal of the game so far, coming in the 27th minute from Nonto. Leeds scoring from a throw-in yet again, and it's Leeds on the attack now. But Soufal, who nearly scored that worldie from 50 yards a few moments ago, manages to clear up. If it goes like this to half-time, Rio, what does David Moyes do at half-time, apart from perhaps go and collect his P45?
Yeah, I was going to say, find a pen and paper, write his resignation now. No, I mean, I think the only natural thing, because Kehra's not having much joy down that left-hand side. And
No.
a couple of times he's been made to look pretty foolish. So you would have thought a natural left-back in that position would do us the world of good, give us a little bit more balance. And if we are going to play with a back four and push Pablo a little bit further forward, and he's actually done right today, Pablo. He's playing not cut nice little passes, industrious as ever. Maybe getting Emerson or Creswell on would bring a bit of balance to the side. West Ham on the attack again here and taken out in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, it's Cooper in the book for just slicing Scamacca in half as he drove forward. And Pablo Fornals now has got the free kick for West Ham. We're bang on 40 minutes. We're a dead centre of the goal. We're about 35, 40 yards out, so no imminent danger. But Fornals is probably a little bit further than that. Plays it short to Sufalu, swings it into the box. Another cross that can add to that extraordinary tally. We must be on about 270 now, known without a goal, I'd imagine. Crosses.
Yeah. Sorry, I've tried to do about 4 different things to take my mind off the fact I can't watch our game. And just as you spoke, Crystal Palace should have taken the lead there against Spurs, but striking there was it was a good save from Lloris, but there were better options there for him. That was not that we really care, but
no, I can tell you that West Ham have the ball in the net, but it's not going to count because Thomas Souček is about 3 yards offside. It was a good move on the right hand side. Jarrod Bowen managed to sling a crossover. Pablo Fornals had the first shot, I think it was Rio, sort of messed it up a bit, but it fell to Souček, who headed it into Meslier's arms. Meslier dropped it and Souček just bundled it over the line, but by then the decision had already been given. But, you know, I guess that's more promising. We found the net at last anyway, even if it was disallowed.
Yeah, no, it's from little acorns, mighty oaks grow. So, yeah.
It's a penalty. It's got to be a penalty. Come on, finish. Ah! I don't believe it. I'm sorry. Now this will be interesting. I'm sure West Ham should have been awarded a penalty there. Let's have another look. I'm sure there's going to be a VAR review. The ball was played across from the left hand. So my head was in my hands because Pablo Fornals was played the ball after that incident. Goal at his mercy, and he's passed it wide. Now let's have another look. Oh, that's a penalty all day long. Jarrod Bowen's been brought down in the box by Struick. Yeah, that's a penalty all day long. Surely this is going to go to VAR and be reviewed, and West Ham are going to be given a spot kick, Rio.
I would have hoped so. Because if it doesn't, Pablo's going to be desperately embarrassed because that was a shock.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about the way you've described that because it could be argued that the referee played the advantage and we messed out then. And
well, VAR are looking at it as we speak.
You've got you've got the vision on this, so I'll have to defer. But a bit worried.
It's a clear foul, isn't it? It's just whether, as you say, he interprets it. Yeah, absolutely clear foul. It's whether, as Noam said, if he interprets it that he actually played the advantage, which, for God's sake, I hope it doesn't, because Pablo steadied himself, picked the angle, picked the spot, and promptly. It's like watching bloody Colin Montgomery putt in the last round of the Masters. He had no hope of getting in.
Well, I can tell you that the referee's gone to view, he's been directed to look at this again. So I'm fairly certain this is going to be given as a penalty. We can see him watching the screen now. And surely this is going to be a penalty. I mean, VAR have obviously decided it is. They've directed him to go and have another look. And I'm fairly certain this is, it looked a penalty straight away, Rio, didn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. It's actually wiped him out completely. He's made no the ball.
So, again, it looks like VAR are going to intervene. And it's a penalty. Referee gives the penalty. So, 43rd minute. West Ham a chance. Well, 44 now. West Ham a chance to level from the spot. But the question is, who's going to take it? No side Ben Rama on the pitch. No Manuel Lanzini. Surely not Declan Rice. What do you reckon, Rio?
No, please, Declan Rice. Please not Declan Rice.
I can't look, even if I could see.
Rice and Souček are closest to the spot, which concerns me greatly. I've got to say, I think it's going to be Declan Rice. It's going to be Declan Rice.
The Czech team, doesn't he?
Oh, no,
Surely.
hang on. Now Paqueta's taken. Oh, it's all happening here. Lucas Paqueta's actually taken the ball. Thought for a minute Craig Dawson he was in the mix as well for a second there, which was probably slightly more concerning than Declan Rice being there. But it's Lucas Paqueta who's picked up the ball. Now, bearing in mind that he was involved in a penalty shootout not so long ago, it didn't go quite well for him and his team. Well, let's see what happens. No, what are your thoughts on that Paqueta taking it?
Somebody's got to, and in the absence of Ben Rama, who's been quite reliable with them. Yeah.
Well, here it comes. Paqueta, chance to get off the mark for West Ham against Meslier. 45 minutes exactly on the clock. Paqueta steps up, left footed, stops. Oh, he's put it in. It's 1-1, and it's game on. Lucas Paqueta's off the mark. I thought for a minute he did one of those little stuttering things, and he's actually clipped it into the right-hand corner. Meslier's guessed the right way, almost got there, almost got his hand to it, but the Brazilian just enough to beat Meslier, and it looks like we are back on level terms at the break, Rio. Whew.
Yep. Leeds Royal Infirmary would be overwhelmed tonight. Any West Ham fan who's up based in the north watching that stuttering run-up will have had a coronary. Trust me, because that's the stuff that nightmares are made of. Just run up and hit it.
Just hit the ball. Can you imagine Julian Dix doing that now?
That was terrifying.
I tell you what, I don't know about how bad it looked, but once the penalty had actually been taken, Mr. Howlett sort of screamed of, "Oh!" made it sound like it had been missed.
Sorry, my apologies. I was worried when it was just as soon as he did the stuttering thing. The old ticker started going.
I'll tell you what, it's dry January's dragging, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, it is Leeds United 1, West Ham United 1. The Hammers back on level terms. 1 minute into added on time. I'm not quite sure. 3 minutes added on. It's just been shown on the screen as I was inquiring. So, Rio, I mean, we've not played brilliantly, but probably don't deserve to be behind, do we, on the balance of play so far?
And let's be honest, it's two pretty poorish teams, isn't it? We had the better of the first opening 20 minutes or so. Conceded a very soft goal. Could have gone another one behind because, as I said, the heads dropped. Fingers were being pointed. No one didn't know what it was doing or how it was doing it. We needed a bit of fortune. And, it's a very reckless challenge that got us back in this game. I think 1-1 at the moment is a fair kind of description of the first half because no one's really stood out and covered themselves in glory at the moment.
Doesn't do an awful lot for us in terms of the table. So it puts us back on 14 points, but we're still second from bottom. Sorry, that should
we should have another point. Should we
updated.
Now,
sorry, that should be 15 points because we had 14, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, they haven't updated this. Sorry, let's have another look. Come on, BBC. What do I pay my licence fee for?
well, while you're doing that, Noman, while you're assessing the table for us.
Okay, got it back. Actually,
that's
put us up a place. We're now third from bottom on goal difference above Everton.
Onwards and upwards.
Another goal or two would be useful, guys.
Yeah, certainly would. Rio, I've got to say, I would imagine that Pablo Fornals is probably mopping his brow a little bit after that penalty was awarded because, let's be honest, he missed a sitter there, didn't he?
I just loved the way he eyed it up. He had his eyes on the spot. I'm going to put it there. It's going to go there precision. And he put it about 5 yards wide. That was a shocker, Pablo. I mean, I'm love you to death, but please do not do that again to me. That was absolute shocker.
Maybe it was all planned because he knew Paqueta was going to be taking out our penalties tonight, and he knew he wanted to get his teammate off the mark or something like that. Anyway, doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's 1-1. We've played the 3 minutes and an extra 30 seconds of added on time that was allocated, and I would imagine our referee will call up pretty much straight away. But no, West Ham are allowed to continue this final attack of the half. Skamaka loses out, concedes a free kick, and surely that will be half time now as we approach 49 minutes. We're deep into the 4th minute of added on time. Pablo Fornals shares a smile with one of his opposing numbers. Leeds just Messier's just taken a free kick from outside his penalty box, and that is half time. 49 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock. Leeds United 1, West Ham United 1. No, you haven't seen a lot of it, mate, but What do you make of the first half from what you've heard of me and Rio screaming about, or me mainly?
What I've heard
doing
of
screaming.
it, apart from the sort of opening salvos where we looked all right, I'm almost glad I can't see it.
Yeah, it's not
You
bad.
know, we go 1-0 down, and as I say, and I'm relying on you guys, but you know, the heads seem to go down. But I'm looking at the BBC sort of feed and commentary, which is coming from the it's basically comments that the guys on the radio are saying, and that are coming through. And Simon Stone, who's BBC sportsman at Elland Road, his comment on the penalty sort of reflected the worries that I had about it. And he said, it looked for all the world like referee Coote was playing an advantage when Bowen went down. When the shot went wide, I expected the whistle to go for the penalty. That didn't happen, but I'm surprised Coote didn't spot the foul. And he says, Jesse Marsh is getting annoyed at some of the decisions going against Leeds, but he really can't argue against that one. So BBC are sort of on our side for once. Michael Brown, former Manchester City midfielder, commented, ridiculous penalty, what a penalty. So, I've obviously got to look forward to the highlights later on tonight. Meanwhile, all the other stuff is Tottenham supporters moaning about how bad they are and all that, which is quite fun. They're drawing 0-0 with Palace. All the other scores are the same. Villa 0, Wolves 1. Southampton against Forest kicked off a bit earlier, and they've just started the second half. It's still Southampton 0, Forest 1 there. So that brings you up to date with that.
Super. Thank you very much. Rio looks like he's. Are you still there, Rio, or we just lost you on the screen for a moment?
Oh, sorry. I had to swap from my phone to my iPad because I was having battery issues.
No worries. You're
That's so well tonight, isn't it?
It's I can make you a little bit bigger now, Rio. There we go. Let's pull you across the screen a little bit.
You never do that for me.
You need to sit a bit closer to your camera, I think, Noam, and then I can probably do that. I think you're quite a way away because on my screen I've got a lot of space above your head, and I can't stretch it anymore. Technical issues. There you go.
I do love the balancing of the twigs at a jaunty angle. That is the most impressive thing I've seen for many a year.
Well, my twig.
Oh gosh, it's a huge Noam. Too big now. Let's take you down a little bit. There we go.
Make your bloody mind up.
That's good. That's good. I like that. We're kind of all Rio. We're going to have to size you up a little bit here, buddy. But we're sort of roughly the same size anyway.
Twitch balancing. I tell you, it's the way forward.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't see that on the X Factor, do you?
This is true. There you go. All of us in glorious Technicolor. Half time at Elland Road. It's Leeds United 1. West Ham United. That's right. That's who they're playing. 1. A quick look at the main highlights from the first half. Well, to be honest, there weren't an awful lot. Rodrigo was booked after 8 minutes for kicking Declan Rice in the the right ear hole. And West Ham looked strong, but it was Leeds who took the lead after 27 minutes. Once again, West Ham being undone from a throw-in, something that David Moyes must be absolutely furious about. You'd imagine they've been working on it anyway in training. Throw-in from the right-hand side, little 1-2 round the back of Craig Dawson and passed into the net from close range. The Leeds, the home side going ahead against the run of play. West Ham did have the ball in the back of the net on 41 minutes when Thomas Souček headed the ball over the line from about a yard out, but was penalised for being offside shortly before that, rightly, of course, in the circumstances. But West Ham didn't have to wait long before legitimately putting the ball in the back of the net. Pablo Fornals will be a bit pleased because the ball was played in from the left-hand side. Jared Bowen went to meet the ball and was tripped. The ball ran out to Pablo Fornals, who had the goal at his mercy, but passed wide with only the goalkeeper to beat. But fortunately for West Ham, VAR ordered a review, and tonight's referee decided that it was indeed a penalty. It was a penalty. It was a clear foul on Jared Bowen by Strick. Is it Strick? I've lost the thing there. Strike. And the penalty was awarded. Up stepped Lucas Paqueta. We were all delighted about that, as you can tell, anyone who was watching the stream, and gave us palpitations, and we almost all had kittens. Well, those of us who had a stream anyway, as he performed one of those little stuttering step-ups before banging the ball in the top right-hand corner. Mesnier guessed the right way, but it was a good penalty, to be fair to Paqueta. He's off the mark. West Ham are off the mark, and Rio, we're back in the game. And I've just got to pop out and get a drink, so I'll be back with you guys in just a tick.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, the whole stuttering run up, as we mentioned on comms, it's terrifying. Please do not do that, Lucas. We're West Ham fans. We're not the most strong in terms of cardiac kind of capabilities at the best of the time. You doing that's going to send us over the edge. But yeah, no, it's a kind of a bright. It very much mirrored the Brentford game, the opening period. Very bright, asking all the questions, being the better side. Conceding the pathetic goal, but instead of going into our shell, we had a couple of minutes spell where we kind of looked incredibly iffy, but we actually showed a little bit of gumption. We had a couple of chances beforehand. Skamaka got put through. But yeah, I mean, the one thing I would like to take away from this first half is the fact that we've actually battled our way back into the game a little bit. And that's something that's looked quite beyond us for the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I mean, if anyone's just joining us, I'm the team's Arsene Wenger in that I can't see anything at the moment. I've got no stream, and I'm kind of just keeping an eye on the other games for the purpose of well, I've got to be useful at something if I can't watch the game. But yeah, I mean, Brentford was. Same against Brentford, same against Leicester, where we had a lot of the game. We had a lot of game against Brentford, and going the goals down. It's still a concern. Yes, the penalty, and yes, we're level, but it's got to be some sort of concern that the only goals we're getting at the moment penalties. I guess it makes a change to be getting penalties because we went donkey's years without getting one, didn't we? We can buy one for years, But,
as you said, our lack of ability from open play is a huge concern.
Yeah. I mean, we're not scoring from open play, so I'm just trying to get comfy and close, and it's difficult. Let's do this. Is that any good?
I've got you perfectly. Yeah, in the screen. That's grand.
Yeah, it just looks like I've still got that meteor coming. Hit me on the head, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but anyway, we've got you. That's the main thing. I'm just writing a bit for social media, so if you guys can carry on for a second, that would be greatly appreciated.
So yeah, just to keep you updated with the other scores, no change in the other scores. Although Tottenham were looking particularly useless against Palace over there at the death trap, as we call Sellers Park, and that's quite funny to see. Just checking other stuff. One of the things, of course, Palace. Zaha has obviously got previously. He went down in the box a little while ago under minimal, if any, contact at all, and then moaned that he hadn't got a penalty. But Eze, who's his partner in crime, just did exactly the same thing himself a few minutes ago. But yeah, I don't know what our game's looking like, but this is a bit of a dive fest. Expecting Tom Daley to turn up in a minute. Just checking on the other games. Still not much happening down at Southampton. Forest definitely in the ascendancy there. Further comment from Michael Brown, the former Man City midfielder. It was a brilliant penalty. I think I might edit out the run-up in that case when I look at the highlights later on this evening. Villa Wolves. Villa are, and I quote, struggling to get a meaningful kick, which kind of appreciate it a bit more if they try. But all the other results not doing us any favours at the moment. If I hear any more, obviously, or get any more, I'll update you as it goes on.
I've just had a message from my son, who's sadly at work at the moment, but he's just pointed out the fact that Mark Noble retiring and us being awarded a penalty per game virtually hasn't aligned with the stars, has it?
I just remember
No,
the
that's very
period
true.
when we had Di Canio and the referees union decided to gang up and we couldn't get a penalty while we had Di Canio in the side. I think the worst one was that fraud Uriah Rennie, and we were playing, I think it was Middlesbrough, and Di Canio went on a run in the box and he got fouled 3 times, and each time he tried to stay on his feet, and each time he managed to stay on his feet. The 4th one cleared him out, and Rennie then blew the whistle for hallelujah, and then went and booked Di Canio for diving.
I'm pleased in other news, no, but I've just got to point out, I don't know if you're looking at the comments on the live stream, but it appears that the mystery baguette behind your head is getting quite a lot of attention.
It's more interesting than the game, I suspect.
Steve Palmer says your baguette is a breadstick now, and Hobo says that thing on Gnome's head plus the penalty equals bread and stutter. Excellent, like it. And Craven asking why has Gnome got a French stick in the stream? He's genuinely confused. It's your stairs, isn't it?
It's my stairs. Yeah, you know, I've got this sort of open staircase.
Yeah,
in here in Gnome Towers.
yes,
and yeah, so quite why it's bleeding into the background that you put up. I've no idea. That's technical stuff, and all this is witchcraft. I can't even get a stream going. So, you know.
Well, look, let's ignore the breadstick if we can. But we've got a question actually from
I had an
100
pun lined up. You just cut me down. Me
oh, sorry, Ria. No, please, go on.
Go on. I thought it was a Toblerone gnome.
Could be a Toblerone, yeah.
No, Toad the gnome, obviously.
Toblerone gnome, excellent. Made me feel. I've got some
I've
white
been
Toblerone
on a crime recently or something
that wasn't worth the interruption. I do apologise.
Toblerone.
Actually, you just reminded me. I've got some white Toblerone in the fridge, which I could munch right now, actually. But anyway, question for you both. 117 Sticks. Joining us on the stream just a few moments ago says, what's the eyewitness version of Tilo Kehrer in the first half? The BBC seem to think he's been awful. Well, I mean, Rio, you've seen most of it. No, you haven't seen an awful lot, so we'll throw that one to Rio. Rio, Tilo Kehrer playing at left back for the first time tonight. What's your opinion of his first half for 117 Sticks?
I think uncomfortable with the word I'd use, not just for Tilo, but for us as well, because he's one of these very strange players. The concept of him is far better than the actual production. When he plays for Germany, it's quite adept at playing the right side of the centre half, and he's played right back at times. It was very, very accomplished, very assured, very confident. With us, he just looks like a walking mistake at the moment. Early in the start of his journey at West Ham, I thought, maybe he's just been unfortunate, but you can't keep being unfortunate without fingers being pointed and saying, the reason you're unfortunate because you're culpable for a lot of these errors. He just looks for all at sea. He doesn't know where he's supposed to be half the time. And it's a worry for an international defender.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, actually. I mean, we saw him skinned a couple of times, didn't we, on the right flank? I mean, actually, he looked quite bright early on, getting involved in the early attacks that we were producing. But, Rio, you pointed out a couple of times, got stripped down that right-hand side by Aronson once or twice, and as you probably expect from a player playing in a position he's not. You mentioned Rio, of course, he has played there before, but not his natural position. You'd have to say on the left-hand side. I think the BBC have probably got something there. Mr. Sticks, he's not had his brightest game so far, but hopefully he'll improve in the second half and can help us get this second goal. Who's the momentum with now, Rio, in the second half? I mean, obviously Leeds, we were a bit concerned when we conceded first. That sort of frailty that we've been, or exhibited when going behind before in recent weeks, we were sort of worried about happening again, but didn't happen. We came back into the game. Is the momentum with us now?
You would have thought so, wouldn't you? Apparently, just before half time, a team like Leeds, who can be quite brittle at times, under Bielsa, it was kind of a free-flowing side, and they're always on the attack and always kind of constant in their threat, always asking questions, no matter how poorly he was playing. Under Jesse Mensch, he has a little bit more disciplined in terms of defensive move, but they're just more open and more kind of it sounds weird that a Bielsa side looks more compact, more capable of producing a result than a Merse side, but you know they look more open and look. It's a weird kind of scenario. I don't trust any of their players. I think once Leeds fans they can get on their back when things are going awry. And from what I've been told this season, there's like a little bit of questions of Minch's kind of capabilities and the way he's got the side set up.
Good stuff. Mark Pierce says that Gnome is, presumably this is in a reference to the staircase stroke breadstick, but Mark Pierce says Gnome is Warburton.
Yeah, I'm actually my mother's pride, but that's probably too old for some of you lot.
It's I was just having a quick look at some of the comments on that. Where the second half just kicked off, by the way. Leeds taking the centre 1-1 as we kick off. Looks like Tilo Kera's getting quite a lot of stick from the KUMB forum, and perhaps not surprising, but comment that did make me laugh, Rio, come from Smuts, and he says in reference to everybody's streams buffering quite a bit, and this evening says I thought my stream was buffering when Paqueta took that run up, which I thought was quite good.
Yeah,
looks a bit like that, didn't he? But
very
anyway,
much so.
we are back underway. It's myself, Gnome on the far side, Rio in the centre, with you for the rest of the second half. If you're new to the stream, welcome to Eyes Up Mother Brown. We're here for every home game, and it's Scamacca who's going to try his chance. Oh, is it? It's 2-1 to West Ham, and Gianluca Scamacca has banged one in from 22 yards. Oh, what about that? What about that? Rio, have you seen this yet?
No, it's starting to come up on mine.
What a goal! Well, I can tell you it's a Leeds error.
Yeah, that's a really well taken goal. You know, this is what we got told about Scamacca when he first joined us. He will shoot from anywhere, and what he's done there, it's not a half chance, is it? He just turned around, looked up. It's an absolute strike and a half. Just place it confidently into the corner. Brilliant strike.
It's come from a goal kick. Messier's played it short. It's played into midfield, played back to another defender, but Scamacca's picked the ball up and just turned around and banged it in the back of the net. I actually thought he'd missed, first of all. He hits the post. And we've seen this only two. Look, we were talking about luck in the first half. Declan Rice, after 5 minutes against Brentford, hit the post from a similar distance, slightly wider, more acute angle. It's happened tonight, unfortunately for West Ham. Scamacca's hit the inside of the post, and it's gone into the back of the net. And West Ham, from a goal behind, with 2 or 3 minutes left of the first half, now find themselves 2-1 up after 1 minute of the second half. No, great recovery. Of course, we all knew it was going to happen, didn't we?
Yeah, said it would. That's probably the best goal I've not seen all day. And, well, it sounds like, and I mean, obviously I'm in the dark here, but it does sound like that it's the sort of thing we bought Scamacca for, and the sort of it showed early promise getting goals of that nature early on in the season. He got a couple, and good for us. That is. I'll give you some live reporting on it from the BBC. Just letting all the other games are at half time at the moment, with the exception of Southampton 0, Forest 1, which is about 65 minutes in. But the others half time are Villa 0, Wolves 1, and what's the other one? Oh, Spurs 0, Palace 0, Spurs 0. And as the BBC asked, interestingly, how big could that goal be in West Ham's season? I'd say to use the current in word, massive.
Certainly could be. We've only got another 42 minutes to hang on to it now. I think we might need another one yet, Rio, before the night's up. But Alan Pardew's dad, pointing out that with that goal, West Ham in the live league table, we're up to the heady heights of 14th in the Premier League.
Yes, I was just going to. I haven't updated it yet on the BBC, but I did a bit of mental arithmetic and I'd worked that out. It'll be just on goal difference, just behind Leeds. I think we'll have a look.
I think Mint should be absolutely furious.
Leeds, sorry. We've overtaken Leeds at that point, and we're well, we're 3 goals worse off than Leicester. Now, if you want to do a decent, good win, today would be a good one to do it, guys.
Rio, you were just about to talk about Jesse, Leeds manager there. I mean, you know, we said we need a bit of luck, but you know, I mean, Leeds just gave that away. I mean, that's absolutely shocking. I mean, to me, it was kind of reminiscent of Everton last night against Brentford. Shocking, shocking goal to concede.
There's been a lot made this season of our inability to press and false errors, and this is probably why we're not doing it. Because once you come up against sides like Leeds, who just gifted the ball to us, you know, let's conserve energy. Just wait for the mistakes. You know, obviously, I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of pressing. You know, 99% of the games we actually play, trying to force the error, but yeah, it'll be absolutely furious of that. Gifted the ball. Obviously, it's a fantastic finish by Scamacca, but we shouldn't have had the opportunity. It's just shocking defending.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely terrible, dreadful. But we're not complaining because you know the chaps here were talking about West Ham getting a little bit of luck, which is kind of you know not been with us at all this season, and I'm not sure that's luck, but it's certainly a fillip that we needed, something to get our season going. Who knows? That could be a bit like the goal in the relegation season. Now, Jared Bowen's played in. Bowen's through. Can he get a shot away? Played in by Paqueta, but he's had to pull up and turn back. Sorry, played in by Pablo Fornals, who's played the ball short to Paqueta. Has just pulled off one of the most ridiculous skills I've ever seen. And Pablo Fornals has messed this shot. Oh, Pablo! We've just seen West Ham go from sublime to ridiculous in the space of about 15 seconds. Lucas Paqueta has pulled off the most, as I say, most ridiculous back heel that he played to Jared Bowen. Plays it short to Bowen. Bowen scuffed his first shot. Fornals has scuffed his first shot, given another opportunity because the ball's rebounded straight into his path, Rio. And he's kind of repeated that shot from the first half, from which we eventually got a penalty. Miles wide of the goal.
Yeah, I think his radars, he needs a new sat nav for Christmas, doesn't he? Because like that one is twice he's put it abysmally wide from really promising positions. Yeah, but a lovely bit of skill from Paqueta there.
Yeah.
Just takes 3 people out with just a little deft back heel. Lovely, absolutely lovely to watch.
Yes, and he's just tried to do it again there and almost fallen over his own feet, but and Leeds have a throw in. But I guess on a serious note, knowing what you know, when you've got players trying little exquisite touches and skills like that, it's sign of a bit of confidence maybe creeping back and say, I know it's only 2-1, we've only, you know, we're only slightly ahead, but nice to see, good to see from West Ham.
Yeah, or it would be, but yeah. I mean, it sounds like. I mean, it's amazing what a goal can do to your head as well as anything else. I mean, you know, you go 1-0 down despite the fact you're a better team, and then suddenly 1-0 down, and as we saw to a certain degree in this game, as far as I could work out, you know, the heads were down for a while. But then, you know, bit of luck, you're back in the game. And then, by the sound of things, a fantastic goal from Scamacca, pretty much out of nothing. Suddenly the tricks are coming around. I'd like to see us get another one. I've been watching this for too long to be happy with the 2-1 lead. But just a question for you. Excuse me. Having seen it, in the run-up to the penalty, when Bowen got fouled, did the referee make any signal towards advantage or not? You know, the usual sort of waving play on.
Not that I saw.
Yeah. Because, I mean, had he done so, I think Leeds might have had a point to complain. But if he just didn't give the penalty purely because he didn't think it was a penalty and had to be shown it again before, then that's fair enough. But obviously, not having seen it myself, just curious with the you know, sort of how it was, how it panned out. So
to be honest, once you see it, mate, you see the way that Pablo misses that the kind of follow up, you'll be realising why we're just so distracted, because that was none of us two can do it justice how poor that was. No,
it was dreadful. We've just said, I think Pablo Fornals is about to get a booking here. He's tried an overhead kick. Well, he's actually performed a very technically good overhead kick. The problem is aiding is coming from his blind side, and he's nearly taken his head off. And I don't think he's been booked for it for dangerous play, which I guess referee might have been well within reason to do, but Leeds have got a free kick. It's a slightly dangerous position. It's about 5 yards outside the box on the right-hand side. So it's going to be coming in for an angle. The referee's laid the magic dust down inside, about 5 yards inside the penalty box. And Fabianski is getting his wall ready. But this is dangerous for West Ham. Leeds have been on top, it's fair to say, since West Ham scored. Looked very lively, and West Ham just content to sit back and try and soak it up, which is fair enough. But I do get the feeling, Rio, that even if they don't score here, where it's unlikely this game's going to finish 2-1, as far as I'm aware, anyway.
No, exactly. There's at least one more goal left in this. I actually think it's very harsh free kick, because Pablo had actually cleared the ball before Ayin decided to come in. So yeah, I'd be furious if that was while I was up there. But just see what comes of this free kick now. Swings in, not comfortably cleared, but it comes to nothing, thankfully.
Yeah, it's Cooper with a header delivered to the far post. Cooper gets up highest and gets ahead of it. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get enough purchase on it to see it on target, and it's out for a West Ham goal kick. 55 minutes gone. Leeds United 1, West Ham United 2. No. Would you? I don't know if you're able to do it, but if you can't get stream, perhaps it might be a good idea to have a look at the KMB forum match thread and just have a look at one or two of the comments there, if that's possible, or possibly even get on Square Ball, which is the Leeds forum, and see what some of their fans are saying. Now, while I've mentioned that, we've got a bit of a row here. Declan Rice and Gnonto are having a bit of a discussion, shall we say, on the pitch. David Moyes is angry with the fourth official for something, and the referee's just stepped in to cool it all down. Let's have a little look and see what happened. It was Jared Bowen with the ball, hacked at once, hacked at twice, and then it's actually Soufal who's gone through the back of Somerville, and Leeds rightly given a free kick, but West Ham losing possession in a dangerous area. Now this is dangerous. Shot comes in, and it's only just wide of the right hand post on Leeds. West Ham losing possession in their own third of the pitch there, and got to be a bit more careful than that. But 56 minutes gone. The Hammers managed to weather the storm so far. Noam, what's the view from our fellow fans posting?
So
Have you managed to get there yet?
Trying to get into the Leeds forum at the moment. So
okay, well, give us a shout when you're in, and we'll see what the fans of Square Ball are saying about their own team's performance. But Rio, 10 minutes now since West Ham scored that second goal. It's not been pretty, is it? But effective so far.
It's been functional. Let's put it that way. My worry is we're going to do what we did at Arsenal last week and try and sit on it and soak the pressure up, then try and hit on a break. But it's something we're not really been doing well, and we don't deal with being under continuous pressure anymore. Yeah, we don't look like we've got the capabilities to break at pace. We don't look like we've got the capabilities to hold out and withstand a barrage of chances. But you just hope that a lesser calibre of opposition, we deal with this a lot better than we did last week.
Gianluca Scamacca's just won a free kick about 35 yards from goal on West Ham's right-hand side near the touchline. Hacked a little bit from both sides. He's been in the wars a bit today, but of course it's the Italian who scored that all-important second goal that puts West Ham in this advantageous position right now. Vladimir Soufal is going to take a free kick, probably going to take it short to Jared Bowen. Let's just stick with this for a moment to see what happens. As I say, West Ham about 35 yards from goal on the right-hand side near the touchline. Soufal puts his hand up, but Bowen, I think, is probably going to swing it in. Let's have a look. Both of them standing over the ball at the moment, have a little discussion. Let's have a look. Soufal again with a hand up. Who lays it back to Bowen. Now Bowen's taken one touch, curls it into the box. That's not too far off the head of Tommy Soucek, who's moving in towards the penalty box, but it's through to Meslier, and Leeds break quickly. Throw out quickly taken, but West Ham have managed to win back possession on the halfway line, and it remains 2-1 to West Ham. 58 minutes gone, though.
Yeah, so I've managed to find a Leeds forum, which is, excuse me, I've got marching on together, which
that's the one.
Yeah, couple of interesting ones. They're not too happy, of course. What's March doing? He's obviously asking our players to try and play, but they don't seem to have a clue as to what and how.
Sorry, no, can I just come in a second there, because Somerville has just gone right through Vladimir Soufal. That's a very, very naughty challenge on the touchline. Soufal's in agony. I don't think he's going to get sent on. No, it's a yellow card coming out. It's a really, really nasty challenge from a very frustrated, clearly, Somerville. I think Thomas Soucek is asking the question, why was it only a yellow? But, I think that's probably the right answer. He's just basically barged Soufal into touch, and the check's gone down. I don't think he's that hurt, quite frankly. But I think it's kind of retribution, wasn't it, Rio, for that one a few minutes earlier, by the looks of it?
It certainly looked like it, didn't it? You know, and no, that's what the game's missing every now and then. A little bit of retribution, a little bit of payback. Let's spice things up a little bit, please.
That's the third Leeds player in the book this evening. Rodrigo booked after 8 minutes for kicking Declan Rice in the head. Skamaka fouled by Cooper 5 minutes before half time. The second one, and now Somerville for hacking out at Vladimir Soufal is the third Leeds player in the book. I don't believe we've had any booked yet, Rio. I thought Fornals might be booked for that overhead kick challenge, but I don't think he was.
I don't think he was. No. So I think we're pretty clear at the moment.
So as I said, 3 Leeds players on a booking. There's still arguing the toss on the touchline. Soufal's still receiving treatment, even though he's off the pitch. The referee rather graciously allowing West Ham to continue with treatment, and while the game is stopped, I'm not sure he has to do that. But all the while, time ticks on, and we're now 2/3 of the way through. We're at the hour mark. It's Leeds United 1, West Ham United 2. Noam's got some more comments from marching on the Leeds forum.
Well, they're not particularly interesting, actually. Look at that. It looks a little bit like some of ours after after things are going by. You know, we've got 43 minutes left to save our season. One of the comments was, "What's Marsh doing?" And somebody said he's moving up and down in the technical area on his Zimmer frame, looking pleased for himself. Doesn't look that old, does he? But just having a look through ours. A few comments about Ayling, who I presume was the one that went down when Fornals did his clearance a while ago. Floydie Hammer described Ayling as a diving brick, and the word rhymes with brick rather than being actually brick. What else have we got? Referee bought that one. Lots of little one-liners coming through at the moment, but sensible comment from Iron Man 83. Doesn't matter if he touches him or not. The ref's always going to blow for a high foot once Ayling went in for it. There were so many better ways to deal with that. Again, I've got to take your word for it.
Okay, well, just coming back to the game for a moment there, Noam. It's all getting a bit feisty. West Ham got a free kick, but a few moments earlier, Rio, we saw a long ball over the top into the path of Pablo Fornals. He was behind. He got behind the defence. No more than 6 or 7 yards out. Tried to swivel and strike the ball across Meslier and completely missed it again.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, Rio, just before you come in on that, looks like Aaron Cresswell's about to come on.
Yeah, as per typical of me at the moment, my stream's gone after a really good run for the first hour or so. So yeah, I'm running blind at the moment. Let's see if I can get this one up.
How about I don't know if you guys can back this up, but there's quite a bit of love for Paqueta at the moment on our forum. Pete 647580, or Pete as we'll call him. His comment: he pops up everywhere. His work ethic is immense, and yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say he's grafted out there tonight, Rio, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's put an absolute shift in. And you're seeing what we was told when we first joined. Like the description we got told was that he's both a wizard and a warrior. And he's shown some excellent touches on the ball, some really lovely pieces of skill, an eye for a pass, but he was also putting himself about a bit. He'll work back, he'll track back, he'll put a tackle in, he'll put a challenge in. He's not afraid of the confrontation. So you've seen the best of both worlds here. Hopefully, this can be the kind of catalyst for him to spark on his career at West Ham, because now it's been a bit patchy to say the least so far. We've seen the glimpse of the passing ability, but we haven't seen a full consummate performance from him yet. So hopefully this will be the first of many, because at the moment he's been a real good shift in the night. Yeah,
we've just seen him take another shot in timely fashion. The ball played back from the byline by Jared Bowen. It found Paqueta on the edge of the penalty box. Had a dip. Shall we say, from the edge of the box. It's only a yard or so wide of the right-hand post, but we've just seen another very, very late challenge coming from, is that Somerville again, on Paqueta this time? It's very, very feisty out there, which I think is probably good for West Ham because there's lots of breaks in play at the moment, and the Leeds not able to get into any kind of fluidity. At 64 minutes on the clock, West Ham awarded a free kick. Now, we haven't seen, I did mention a few minutes earlier that Aaron Cresswell was warming up and looked about to come, and I don't think he's on the pitch. I'm just having a little scan around. Vladimir Soufal, who was raging on the touchline after that challenge, it's fair to say, a few minutes ago, is back on and looks like he's regained his composure. But we'll just stick with this for a moment, gents, if we may, because once again, it's Bowen and Soufal in an almost identical position to they were a few minutes ago, just to the right of Leeds' penalty box, 35 yards out by the right-hand touchline. It's an outswinger this time for Soufal. Good delivery. Chance. Can we get it? Put it in, for crying out loud. West Ham can't get it in. It's come out, but only as far now. What's the referee given there? No. Just take you through it again. The delivery was an outswinger put into the penalty box around the 12-yard mark by Soufal. It fell. I'm not quite sure who that fell to actually, but it was a real chance for I think it was Agard actually who took the shot and kind of scuffed his effort from about 6 or 7 yards. Chance for West Ham though, Rio. Don't know if you've got your stream back now.
I've got one back. I'm on 64 minutes. I might be just behind this. About to see the free kick being taken.
Okay, well, share your thoughts, if you will, of the chance.
I do love the way that Vladimir just chucks a little bit of grass up in the air, like he's about to tee off at the 18th at St Andrews. I've never quite understood that from footballers, but
seeing which way the wind's blowing, maybe.
Yeah, good delivery, but yeah, so just seeing the ball come back in now. Yeah, no, I don't know if it was actually the same free kick, but it just looked a bit messy there, rather than kind of anything constructively that could have led to a chance. So maybe I was on a different page to you there.
I think that was the same one. Maybe I was getting rather too excited for something that was relatively unexciting, shall we say. But anyway, Leeds are on the attack on the left-hand side. Good ball played down the line. Crossing opportunity now for the Leeds number 12, who checks back, plays it short. Leeds content to play it short and play a patient game. Leeds just made a double substitution. I'll come back to that in just a moment when this attack breaks down. It's a good delivery, but it's deep. Beats everyone, but it's out to Ayling at the far post near the byline. Tries to get a cross in, and let's just say he's misdirected that a little because it's almost hit the opposing corner flag. Double change for Leeds on 63 minutes as the rain begins to fall heavily at Ellen Road. Aronson and Somerville replaced by Harrison and Klitsch, and it looks like Gianluca Scamacca's time is up, which is a strange move from David Moyes because he's had a really good game tonight. I thought he was doing well out there, but Mickey Antonio is about to come on. Scamacca scoring the goal that put West Ham ahead, and his race is run for the night anyway because 67 minutes played, and he's replaced by Michael Antonio. What do we make of that substitution, Rio?
I think it's a little bit understandable. It's getting very feisty out there, very, very kind of bitty at the moment in terms of play. So if Leeds are going to be on a counter-attack and trying to force the issue, we can kind of break with Antonio. And his muscle and his bulk and his pace and power could cause Leeds a lot of problems. And also, with two, because I think Somerville went off, there's two Leeds players on the card at the moment. And then we know if a bustling, hustling Mikel Antonio can draw a foul from one of the players remaining, now that works into our favour as well. But I've been impressed with Scamacca. And a little bit quiet in the first half, but in that second one, it was a fantastic strike for the goal. And I think it's just tantamount. If you give him the right service and you give him the opportunities, he works hard and he will take chances when they come.
Double substitution for West Ham, in fact, because Aaron Cresswell is now on the pitch. He's replaced Vladimir Soufal, who's hobbling from that challenge earlier that sent him out into touch, rather late challenge. And we've just seen Mickey Antonio drop the shoulder on the left-hand side. First part of his involvement in the game tonight, but comes to nothing as Leeds look to counter. This could be dangerous for West Ham. Let's just stick with this for the second, but play that to the centre. Oh, this is dangerous. West Ham, they've breached the defence, and fortunately for West Ham, the shot comes in from the number 19, Rodrigo. I think that's Rodrigo, and he's offside, fortunately for West Ham. But they did get behind the Hammers there. He's clearly offside, a yard offside. Well done by Craig Dawson, who stood and held the line while Rodrigo who actually, I'm not sure, when did he come on? I'm not quite sure when Rodrigo came on, but he's on the pitch anyway, the number 19. It's absolutely hammering down Rio now at Ellen Road. They'll be quite used to these conditions, you would expect.
Yeah, it's typical Yorkshire weather, isn't it? It's absolutely chucking it down. It's going to be a bit of I think, help the game kind of flow up and maybe see a few lusty challenges going, because it's one of them surfaces that, which if it cuts up a little bit of a greasy surface, things can go awry. I'm just seeing here that we would have thought that with Cresswell coming on, sorry, I just seen Leeds put one wide. That you would have.
This is dangerous. Oh, they've scored.
Ugh.
Leeds are level. Sorry, Rio, for coming in. Just a minute. It's Rodrigo actually who had the chance a minute ago. 70 minutes. Leeds equalise. Rodrigo it is who scores. Let's have another look at the goal. Was it preventable? You're not going to believe this. It's another throw-in from the right-hand side. Right, yet again, the centre circle played into the middle, played through the centre. Little touch to Rodrigo, puts it onto his left-hand side. It's basic stuff. Comes across knife, a gird. Declan Rice puts in a half challenge, not enough to prevent the shot coming in, and it's banged into the left-hand bottom corner of Lucas Fabianski's net, and Leeds are level once again. And Noam, it's game on again.
Yeah, sorry, I disappeared there for a minute. My internet connection completely died, and something about a giant Toblerone falling on top of the router or something. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, not being able to see it, I can't really comment on the goal, but it just sounds like sadly predictable. Really, don't know what to say. Really, I mean, we've got to get those heads up and go again. I mean, we've come from behind once and gone ahead. I mean, we're not behind now. So the trouble is, of course, you don't know if it stick or twist at this point. What I don't want to see is just sitting back. The time to sort of do that is sort of late on.
Yeah.
And when you don't want to go gung ho with 2 minutes left, but I still think the game's there to win.
Yeah.
Just
I think you're very right. Yeah. Leeds are going for a winner. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities, Rio, I think, for West Ham. A bit of naivety perhaps on their part. Maybe they're right. I mean, it's 2-2. This is a game they'll think is imminently or exceptionally winnable themselves.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things from that goal. First of all, the acres of space he had from the throw-in. The centre of the pitch was open up for him. No one was within 5-10 yards. So he had time to play the ball into the back, ask questions of our defence. And as you said, the girls got pulled over. There was absolute sea of space, wasn't there, in between the two centre halves. Easily preventable goal, and it's just basic West Ham errors. Once more creeping in, exactly when we don't need them.
Lucas Paqueta gets across him from the right-hand side. Header goes up from Kera. Can't quite get to it. Rice has a volley, but it's high and wide from 19, 20 yards out. And jeers and cheers from the Ellen Road crowd as the ball flies into the stand. But good response from West Ham there. Having led 2-1, I guess there's going to be an air of disappointment around the club if we're not to win this game. I guess the question is, would it be enough to save David Moyes for another week?
Interesting one. Obviously, there's a situation at the club where that in the management side of things at the top, which following today's sad news, that's going to need sorting out, and whether or not anything can be done in the interim while they get all that sorted out, I don't know. But how long have we still got left? We must have 20 minutes left still, something like that.
Yeah, we're in the 74th minute now, and just seeing Leeds come forward again.
What I would say is that goal's put us back down in the bottom three. Again, 15 points clear of Everton on goal difference, and 3 points clear of Southampton, who's still losing. It's still Villa 0, Wolves 1. Spurs scored twice in 5 minutes to go 2-0 up at Palace, despite looking terrible first half, and Kane was getting pelters on the BBC's comments, and he scored twice. So that'd be a usual Tottenham reaction. Then it'd be a world beater again. So yeah, we got what 15, 16, yeah, 15 minutes plus whatever gets added on. This is still doable, but obviously you can tell me, do we look like doing it or not? Because I can't see.
Yeah, well, what do you think? I mean, as I said, Leeds are kind of in the ascendancy, looking
Yep.
for a third goal. But you know, I just wonder if that's a bit of naivety on their half, because they are leaving gaps at the back, which obviously West Ham will be hoping they can exploit.
Yeah, we've gone to our shell a little bit. That's the problem. Leeds, obviously, they've got their tails up there. They're going to go for the winner. But we look a little bit disjointed, a little bit, again, look like we don't know exactly what we're doing with the ball. It's not a hot potato, man. We can't keep hold of it. We can't take the sting out of the play for a little bit. So it's a little bit worrying, but as Noam said, there's about 15 minutes left. There's time to get a winner. But the thing is, there's time for both sides to get a winner.
That Leeds equaliser coming in the 70th minute, just 3 minutes after Michael Antonio replaced Gianluca Scamacca, and 2 minutes after Soufal was replaced by Cresswell. Aaron Cresswell has, as expected, moved out onto the left-hand side with Thilo Kehrer, who had been playing at left-back, moving back to his presumably more natural right-hand side for the rest of the game. So yeah, it's anyone's game. It's one of those. I mean, I would imagine that for the neutral, this is probably quite an exciting game to watch. Both teams going for the win, and West Ham now have a free kick, some 35 yards from Leeds goal, pretty central position. It's Thomas Souček who is fouled by the Leeds number 5 Koch, and who's sporting a rather dashing RAF-esque moustache. Looks like he's just come away from a Spitfire. In fact, it's a bit like that, one of those. But anyway, 16 minutes left to go, and West Ham have a free kick. Absolutely hammering down Ellen Road, 2-2. And let's just stick with this for a moment and see what happens. Plenty of West Ham, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 West Ham players lining up on the edge of the lead box. It's Aaron Cresswell who's going to drift one in, I would imagine, play it kind of across. There's a West Ham player on the deck. Can't quite see who that is, but there was obviously some kind of... It's Craig Dawson. Slowly getting to his feet. Was obviously knocked over by one of the Leeds players. They're having a bit of a few words with each other about it, and all the while more time ticks away. Referee once again comes over. It's been quite a tempestuous affair, this one, Rio, isn't it? There's quite a lot of naughty little challenges flying in.
Yeah, the second half especially, it's kind of heated up quite a lot. It's a sense of frustration particularly from Leeds before they equalised. I think it was a degree of frustration kicking in. Things weren't going their way, and you can see the tempers spilling over. When Vladimir Soufal went off, there's a close up of his knee, and he looked like really nicely kind of cut to it. Looked like a stud had gone down there. So that's been quite indicative of the way the game's been played in this second half.
Oh, now West Ham in trouble here. Leeds have broken through, and it's just over the bar. Rodrigo. I think actually Fabianski's got fingers to it. Rodrigo broke away on the left-hand side again. Let's have a look. The ball played again through the centre. Rodrigo's got behind Craig Dawson, just to the right of the D. He's aiming for the top centre of the goal. I think Fabianski, yeah, I think it's goal bound. I think that's a good save from Fabianski. I think that's going in if he doesn't get some fingers on that. And it's pushed over the bar for a Leeds corner. So West Ham a little bit fortunate. They've got to be careful. Looks like Leeds are about to make another change. Rocker is going off for the Whites, and Greenwood is on. That's in the 78th minute ahead of this corner. Let's just stick with this for a second. It's going to be taken from West Ham's right. Hand goes up. The corner taker drifted in to the centre. West Ham get it out. I think might be Fornells who've actually got the touch, but the ball's played back to the right hand side by Leeds. The cross will come over, no doubt here. It's a shot actually, and Thomas Souček I think has got his considerable head in the way, and it's kind of been looped back into the box. And Michael Antonio doesn't quite know what to do with that. And now he's lost the ball in a really poor position, Antonio. But Leeds don't profit from it. But Antonio gave the ball away right on the byline there. Now it's West Ham conceded possession again, and Leeds attacking the right-hand side. It's all hands to the pumps at the moment for West Ham. Aaron Cresswell beaten, and the ball comes across, and this time it's Declan Rice Sorry, it's not Declan Rice. It's Nigel Gerd. Just saw the black hair, and puts the ball out for another Leeds corner. So Leeds kind of turning the screw at the minute here, gentlemen. We'll just stick with this once again to see what happens. 79 minutes on the clock. Leeds United 2, West Ham United 2. Really, really open affair. Could go either way, this one yet. Corner delivered. Up goes Thomas Souček once again. Jared Bowen wins second ball, and now West Ham have got a chance to break here. Can they do so? And they are breaking with pace. Now here's a chance. Mickey Antonio, can he beat the last man? It's shown the ball into the corner, and it's a goal kick. Tried to get across, tried to beat his man, and the ball was actually cannon back off him and over the line for a goal kick. So 80 minutes gone home, 2-2.
Yeah, we got the first result of the night is in. Southampton 0, Forest 1. That leaves them rooted to the bottom. Forest will go up from third from bottom up to 15th as it stands. Spurs have just gone 3-0 up at Palace. Bit of a scrappy goal, but it wasn't Kane. But so Kane will probably start getting pelters now for not having scored it. So that's where we are with other games.
Okay, West Ham just made a double substitution. Let me just jump in there because Lucas Paqueta, who's had a really decent game out there tonight, is off, as is Pablo Fornal, who's probably a little bit ring rusty, having not played an awful lot lately. On the field, Flynn Downs, and it's that man's side, Ben Rama, to see if he can perform a little bit of Algerian magic in the final few minutes. Rio, thoughts on that double change from David Moyes?
Yeah, I think it's quite understandable. Pablo going off, pretty decent on the ball, but when he's had chances in front of goal, he's been wasteful. And as you said, he hasn't played a lot of football over the last few months. So he always gives you that little bit of an option, doesn't he? With Flynn Downs coming on instead of Paqueta, I think it's just to shore up the back a little bit more than anything. Give that little bit more of a defensive edge. If we're going to try and press forward, utilising the likes of Ben Rama and Antonio, need someone kind of sit back, hold and protect. And Flynn will do that really well.
A point is not good enough, says Craven on the live chat. We have to win this. Let's know what you think, everyone else watching on the live stream. And while we're just seeing the ball out of play, it's a throw-in for Leeds. If you are enjoying the stream, if you like what you've seen tonight, down there's a little thumbs up button. Please give us one of them. Please click that button for us. Why not subscribe as well if you haven't already? Click on the notification bell and you'll be informed whenever we post any fresh content. Preview Percy's match previews up before every game, of course, and we're live for every West Ham United game between now and the end of the season. 82 minutes gone. Leeds have a throw-in deep into West Ham territory on the left-hand side, but it's a West Ham throw. Noam, how are we doing with those comments from the forums?
Well, you can imagine the marching on together was predictably bullish. Let's go on and make sure we win this now, has been the general sort of theme. On ours, Jabberglov 123, possibly not their real name, it said in response to a comment from Jonzo, it said we'd have had this game wrapped up if Fornals could finish. As accurately pointed out, I think, story of our season, we create chances, but we can't finish our dinner. General theme there. How's Gerd looked? Not been able to see him. Sort of come on for his first proper start.
Rio?
To be honest, I mean, it's been a bit of a difficult one to gauge. We've been all over at sea for both goals we conceded. I wouldn't blame him for the first one at all, because I think Craig Dawson was challenging in the Terry Fenwick more than anything. But I think Naif was a little bit at fault for the second. He got caught out and dragged out of position. There was acres of space in the back. He hasn't been awful, but it's one of the nights when no one's really shone for us, I don't think, particularly in a defensive way. It's hard to, and you've got to think he's not really played, apart from when the World Cup for Morocco, he hasn't really played a lot of football. And this is a 100-mile-an-hour game, pretty hard one to kind of be introduced into. But he's been okay, but he hasn't been outstanding. I
was just seeing Declan Rice try his luck from the edge of the box, and it's another one high and wide after some good work on the left-hand side by Saeed Benrahma, the substitute just on the field for West Ham. And we're now into the final 6 minutes. And Rio, if we do get another goal, that's going to be the winner for sure.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way because both sides have been a bit wasteful in front of goal. For a game that's 2-2, I mean, Rodrigo's missed a couple of really good chances for them. Obviously, we missed a couple of good ones. So you think if there's one more goal left in it, it's going to settle things because you can't see any team kind of fighting their way back in out of that because everyone seems a bit kind of, I think heads will go down, but body language would drop completely after a late winner like this.
Well, Leeds have a corner. Ball played into the box and Craig Dawson getting a foot in to intervene. No, you can come in there, sorry.
I was just going to update you, another score update. Spurs are now 4 up at Palace. Son with the 4th. So that was it. The other scores, Southampton 0, Forest 1's full time, as we know. 71 minutes played, Villa 0, Wolves 1. 72 minutes played, Palace 0, Spurs 4.
Well, you're not going to believe this. Michail Antonio's just cleared one off the line. The corner came over, delivered to the far post. It was a goal-bound header that was on target at the far post. Let's have another look and see who it was. Deep cross. Header goes up. It's the Leeds number 6 centre-half Cooper who gets the header on target. But fortunately, Michail Antonio positioned just under the crossbar, that area that Carlton Cole used to enjoy positioning himself at for corners, manages to get it away, or at least stop it from going over the line. And Cooper gets another opportunity to shoot a goal, but he puts it over the bar from about 3 yards out. West Ham living dangerously, but it's still 2-2, and the Hammers now looking to break at the other end.
Yeah, I'm about a minute behind. I'm just about to set the corner now. Yeah,
one of
that's
those,
one of them decisions, one of those moments that could be the crux of our season. You know, that could be a point-saving clearance, which might kick us on. If that had gone in, you would have feared the worst, not just for tonight, but for the long term.
Well, Leeds have got another corner. It's on the other side this time now. So West Ham have got some more defending to do. Cooper in the box again. And it's going to be taken by the Leeds substitute, the number 11, Harrison. It's a low one this time, into the near post. West Ham can't get it clear, but fortunately it's gone behind for a goal kick. Struick, I think it was, who got the last touch on it. And time for West Ham to breathe again and regroup for the last 3 minutes of normal time, plus whatever will be added on. It's Leeds United 2, West Ham United 2. Quick recap for those of you joining late. Leeds went ahead after 27 minutes before West Ham equalised from the penalty spot in the final minute of the first half. Gianluca Scamacca put West Ham ahead in the first minute of the second half before Leeds equalised through Rodrigo with 20 minutes to go. Now, West Ham breaking on the left-hand side. Great chance for Benrahma to get behind his man, but concedes possession. But he's won it back. Now, what can West Ham do here? Finn Downs with the ball, plays it out to the left to Aaron Cresswell. Back inside, Declan Rice looking up, looking for options, nothing on. So West Ham keeping possession. We're about 35 yards from Leeds goal. Tilo Kehrer has given the ball away, and this could be dangerous. 2.5 minutes to go. Leeds countering now, and that's would have been a good ball, but Naifer Gerd watched it and made sure he intervened, and West Ham are back in possession. Let us know what you think on the live stream. Would you be happy with a point? Or, you know, of course, being 2-1 up, you'd, I guess, you know, it's not quite as enjoyable as coming from behind to get a point. But what do you think? Would you be happy with this? Do you think David Moyes deserves a stay of execution if we do get a point here tonight? Or, of course, with that being only 1 point from 9 post-Christmas against Arsenal, Brentford, and Leeds, should that be the signal for the owners, or the owner, should I say now, to pull the trigger? But anyway, Leeds on the left-hand side, ball played into the box. Craig Dawson up again to head it away from danger, but West Ham conceding possession again. It's Tilo Kehrer giving the ball away. It's played out to the other side of the box now, but too far on West Ham. Have a goal kick, gentlemen. We can breathe again now.
Yeah. I did say this dry January is taking its toll, isn't it? Just listening to it. I mean, it's all right for you. You can see how bad things are going. I'm sort of relying on you and the comments from the BBC and various things. I see Marsh has been booked for presumably shouting too much on the touchline. I've got a comment on the website from Spod. Much as many of us don't like Moyes, at least our manager isn't Jesse Marsh. Hashtag embarrassing dad. So I don't know who he was doing, but I'm guessing he was having a good dig there.
Yeah, I didn't see what that was for, Rio. Did you happen to?
No. All I've seen in kind of the aftermath is he's wandering around his bomber jacket with his hands in his pocket like a petulant kid. But he's done a lot of that this season.
Yeah, I suspect there's a bit more of that to come. We're in the final few seconds of the regulation 90. Leeds with possession on West Ham's right-hand side on the halfway line. Excuse me. We just saw Knife Agurd hit the deck a few moments ago. Don't worry if you haven't got stream. It's nothing to worry about. Just a bit of cramp, which isn't unexpected, I guess, given this is his first full game since, well, for nearly a month, I suppose, given that he was out from, the quarterfinals onwards. Leeds have a free kick now. We're into added on time. Just waiting to see how long. 5 minutes added on by the fourth official, and we are into the first few seconds of that. So 2-2, anyone's game. Leeds look like they're about to make one more change now. It's one of their youngsters coming on now. Gnonto, the goal scorer, going off to be replaced by the number 39, substitute number 39.
I think.
Number 30, even. Yeah, thanks, Rio. Gilhart. He looks very young, or am I just getting really old?
No comment.
you kids, you.
He looks about 9 years old. But anyway, he's on the pitch now, and Leeds have a free kick just inside West Ham's box, probably about 40 yards from goal, just on the right-hand side of the penalty box. They put the ball down on the deck, and West Ham retreat in numbers en masse. And Leeds are going to hurl this one into the box and test West Ham's defence once again. Yeah. 1 minute and 14 seconds of the added-on 5 played. West Ham 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players along the edge of our box. Leeds with 4, 5, 6, 7 in there. The ball's delivered deep into the box. It's not really won by anyone. Fabianski says, he doesn't claim it. He punches it clear, and Leeds retain possession. Nervous moments for West Ham, but just our luck. Jared Bowen manages to nip the ball away from a Leeds player. If he'd have been able to keep hold of it, we could have been away and breaking, but just comes off his knee and rolls out into play for a Leeds throwing. Anyway, looks like the rain stopped over there. Aiding is having a word with the referee. Not quite sure what that was all about. But anyway, Leeds take the throw and they're back in possession. 3 minutes of added on time left to go. No, we got any more full-time results apart from that Southampton and Forest game?
No, ours will be the next to finish. And then there's 10-15 minutes. 10-15 minutes behind will be the Villa Wolves. I have got some scores here. It's actually a good bit of news for once. Aston Villa have equalised with 10 minutes to left, just as you mentioned it there. Reading the BBC's thing, Villa were throwing the kitchen sink at Wolves trying to get it. And it's Danny Ings has got the equaliser for Villa against Wolves. Now, what that does for the table, have a look. I'm not sure that's been updated. I wasn't sure where Wolves were beforehand, so I'll give that a second or two to update.
Yeah, I think Wolves will be on 14 points, won't they? So that will put them back second bottom, and it takes us just out of the bottom 3 on goal difference.
That's a useful goal at Villa, isn't it?
Well, it could be for David Moyes, yeah. If there is that much rumoured clause that he can be fired if West Ham drop into the relegation zone, I suppose.
But quote from the BBC: Villa's persistence pays off. Brilliant runs from Ings to get behind the Wolves' defence and bring down Tyrone Mings' pinpoint pass. Steadies himself, and here's a word you don't hear anywhere outside football reports. He steadies himself and finishes with aplomb.
Fantastic.
I love that. That's definitely a football word. Yep, updated it, and the table looks a little bit less nasty now. West Ham, as it stands.
Now, side Ben Rama's breaking on the left-hand side, goes into the box, West Ham counter, tries his own. Antonio! Oh, it's just like Paul Gascoigne in the European Championship semi-final of 1996. Side Ben Rama plays the ball across the goal from the left-hand side. Antonio stretches out with every sinew he can at the far post to try and get a touch on it. He just can't get on the end of it. It's so close. West Ham so close to stealing it at the end there. Mickey to the goalkeeper. Messier's beaten all ends up. Antonio's just got to get a touch on it, and that's in the back of the net, and West Ham have stolen all 3 points, but it isn't to be. And we're in the final minute of added on time. Thought we'd nicked it there, chaps. Really thought we'd nicked it. Shades of Gascoigne coming back all those years later. What a moment that was. Still one of my worst moments following West Ham and England that against Germany in that semi-final.
It hasn't come up on my stream yet. I'm just about to watch it now. He's done everything right.
A little bit, Rio. It wasn't as close as I'd perhaps been painting it, but you know,
it wasn't as close. But
anyway.
In their situation, their predicament, mentally it feels that close, doesn't it?
Well, the 5 minutes are up. Leeds have got a free kick. Where are we? 1, 2, so that's 12, 30, 33, 34 yards from West Ham's goal. It's pretty central. This will be the last play of the game. It's delivered wide right. The header comes in and it's out. And Fabianski, I think, has pushed the ball against the post and just saved West Ham United and possibly saved David Moyes' job. Let's have another look at that. I think this comes off the post. Ball played to the right, headed in. Another header. Oh no, it doesn't make the post. Fabianski's managed to claw it away, but it was going in the back of the net. And I think if West Ham escape with a point here, David Moyes might be buying his goalkeeper a little drink or two after the game tonight, because he's just saved David Moyes' job, I think, there. And that is full time. 95 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock. The referee blows for full time. It has finished at Ellen Road. Leeds United 2, West Ham United 2. The Hammers a goal behind in the first half, came back to lead 2-1, 2 goals in the space of a couple of minutes either side of the half-time interval before Rodrigo levelled for Leeds with 20 minutes to go. End-to-end stuff, exciting game, but in the end, the spoils are shared. West Ham are, as it stands, out of the relegation zone on goal difference above Southampton, above Wolves and above Everton, crucially remaining just outside. No, any more news from the Wolves-Villa game?
No, you're quite right as it stands. The Wolves-Villa game is still 1-1. BBC have been a bit slow in updating at the moment. They're just BBC are just commenting on the Antonio near thing and wondering if they'll be late to us. It's still 1-1 there. There's we're looking at about 10 minutes to go at Villa Park there. The comment now is from the BBC is Fabianski made just to salvage the point for West Ham. Gelhardt's free kick is met by Rodrigo. His header's on target, but somehow the canvas keeper claws the ball out and behind. It's hard work not watching football, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine it's been a nightmare, but thank you for keeping us abreast of what's going on elsewhere, both on the forums and on the pitches tonight from around the country. But let's just have a quick wrap up. I guess I'll have to come to you, Rio, because no obviously hasn't seen the action tonight. But as we said, it's finished 2-2. West Ham have a point, remain outside the bottom three, or assuming Wolves don't score a very, very late goal at Villa Park. What do you make of that tonight? How do you assess it, and what's David Moyes' position as things stand?
First of all, it's just great to get the rot of consecutive defeats out of the way. A point in the board in our predicament isn't a bad thing, particularly a point away from home. It wasn't a fantastic performance by either side. It was a bit of a scrappy game. There wasn't a real lot of quality on show. But the bits that were really on evidence in terms of absolute gems, Skamaka's finish, Paqueta's ability on the ball at times. But it's disappointing not to come away with 3 points after being 2-1 up. But as I said, breaking the run of consecutive defeats is a positive. A point away from home is a positive. Hopefully, this will kind of give the players a little bit more belief. We've also seen Naif Gur come for 90 minutes in the league game. I think it was that possibly the first time. So there are positives to take. Where it leaves David Moyes is a bit of a difficult situation. If he was going to go, I would have thought it just would have made sense before the World Cup break or just after the World Cup break, because any new incomer, we've had like 6 weeks to work with a core of really solid players. Obviously, the world players at the tournament wouldn't have been involved, but a bit time to implement new ideas, new systems, get everyone on board with this new system. But it hasn't happened, and you would have thought, is it too late now to make the change? Well, we're firmly entrenched in a relegation battle at the moment. Do you want to be bringing in someone who, because there's a lot of names being bandied about that come from more on foreign times, like European times. You think, are they mentally prepared for a relegation battle? Excuse me. The English names being mentioned who are available, like the likes of Sean Dyche, not be popular choices, but he has got experience of leading a Burnley side through numerous battles at the bottom of the table and keeping them in the division. So if there was going to change be made, you're going to go for someone kind of unproven or not particularly adept at relegation chances, or someone who can be wildly unpopular with the fans and who's going to divide opinion. And do we really need that now? So as it seemed, I think David Moyes will be still in the job.
Okay. I guess one thing it isn't going to do, Noam, is settle any of the arguments or debate in the David Moyes thread on the forum, in which it's seen people from both sides of the fence going hammer and tongs at each other for the last few weeks. No side really comes out of that one tonight with any stronger position. I should point out there's nearly 1,200 people on the forum right now. So if you want to join in the debate, get on over to the KUMB.com general discussion forum, where obviously debate is fierce following that game. No, obviously you couldn't see the game, but you've seen enough of West Ham over the years to know whether or not this is a decent result in the circumstances. What's your take from a 2-2 draw at a team that obviously is struggling a little bit themselves?
It's difficult, obviously, to comment on the game itself. I mean, the point is, I think that was the very least that we needed tonight. Very disappointed that we couldn't hold on to a lead. But on the bright side, we actually came from behind, which in recent weeks has not been a thing, has it? Recent weeks it's 1-0 down. Oh God, we're not playing very well, and next thing you know, it's 2, and we don't got a clue. Both sides had chances. I'm guessing that a draw is probably about the right result from what I've been hearing you say and stuff on the BBC. I'm with Rio. If they're going to get rid of Moyes, I want someone better in. I don't mean Dyche. I don't mean, God forbid, Allardyce is still unemployed, isn't he? I want someone who can actually. The reason Dyche has got a lot of experience of relegation battles is because his teams are often in relegation battles, or as it happened last year, relegated. So there's a reason that they're in relegation battles. I suspect that if they do get rid of Moyes, there'll be someone in and a caretaker basically till the end of the season, while they look, and then they'll take stock, see what league we're in at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But no, I don't want anybody like Dyche. I don't know who I do want. I don't know who's available that would be worth having a stare. Sorry, I'm keeping a close eye here on the reports from the Wolves game for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I think that's a key point what you made.
A chance, and now Wolves have had one. So it's there's about we got 1 minute of normal time plus whatever they add on for stoppage up there. So I'll keep a very close eye on that, because obviously we need that one to hang around at that. Now
Rio, were you going to
Yeah.
come in there?
Sorry,
No,
Rio,
Yeah.
mate, carry on.
Sorry, no, sorry.
No, it's what Noma said. He doesn't know who he wants, and I think that's indicative of the whole support.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names being bandied about, and some of them are absolute pie in the sky. Some of the names that, like the likes of Tuchel been mentioned, likes of Pochettino, are they really going to come and join the side, take over a club that's entrenched in a relegation fight? No.
Mhm.
And would they join us if we weren't? You know, it's highly doubtful they would even come anyway, even if we were at the top. Then you're looking down the list of incumbents, like Diet has been mentioned, until Wednesday when he got the job at Bruges. Scott Parker's been mentioned. Are they really the kind of characters that we need at the moment? You know, we need something to galvanise not only the team but the support. Because in a relegation battle, if you haven't got the fans on you rooting for you, as we've seen in the past, it can make things a whole lot worse and a whole lot nastier, and it makes a really difficult battle 3 times as hard. No one really knows who they want. No one really knows who's available. No. So is it worth just sticking with what we know until the end of the season and then reassessing then?
Well, there you go.
It's
That's
full time at the death trap. Spurs have won that one 4-0.
Yeah.
Apparently the so-called ultras at Palace were a bit quiet for some reason. Muppets. Still not much of an update from Villa Park. They're already at the stoppage time there. 90+1 on the clock, but they're not. Nothing much seems to be happening. They're concentrating on Mateusz Klitsch, Elland Road, who's appears to be saying his goodbyes to the club. He's been linked with a move to MLS, apparently. Lots of hilarious digs at Spurs fans on the BBC thing. What was the one? Where's it gone? Yeah, all of a sudden, Conte's the best manager in the world again. Struggling to keep up with you, Spurs fans. From somebody called Mike.
Well, let's keep us up to date on that now when the final whistle blows, because they are obviously still a very, very important game as far as West Ham are concerned. If Wolves were to score again, then the Hammers would be back into the bottom 3, which of course could
might have a
could be
different
carried.
complexion.
Yeah, absolutely. But as it stands, West Ham 17th in the table, just on the cusp of the relegation zone, but not quite in it. Even though
The
just
only update I've got is there's now 2 minutes of stoppage left at Villa Park. 5-3 have been played. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what happens as it stands. Southampton bottom, 12 points from 18 games. Wolves second from bottom, 14 points from 18 games. Everton third from bottom, 15 points from 18 games with a goal difference of -10. And then 17th with 15 points from 18 games with a goal difference of -9, just almost identical to Everton. Everton 14-4-24 against. West Ham 15-4-24 against. But it's that extra goal that's keeping West Ham out of the relegation zone as things stand. Bournemouth a point above West Ham with 16 from 18. And then Forest, Leeds and Leicester all on 17 points, 2 points above West Ham. So, I mean, Rio, the point is, it looks like it's going to be one of those seasons, almost you might argue a bit like 2006-07 all over again, where there's quite a lot of teams involved in that battle for the drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a third. 8 teams there. You take Southampton and Wolves out of the equation. No.
Well, Villa just had a chance to win it at the death. Bailey, I quote here: Bailey's found it behind the Wolves' defence by a long pass from Mings. He goes around Sarr in the Wolves' goal, but his next touch is awful. He fluffs his shot wide with the goal at his mercy.
Okay, I thought you were going to say Wolves had scored for a minute. It's almost a tone of resignation. But Rio, I mean, yeah,
and that's the last kick of the game.
That's it.
It's full time at Villa Park, 1-1.
Okay, so West Ham do stay out of the relegation zone. It's, I mean, and what do you make of that? No, my comparisons there with 06-07, a lot of teams in the mix. We're still not. I mean, this is the thing. We're still not halfway through the season yet, are we? Long way to go. But do you see any of those teams, sort of from Leicester, Leeds, Forest down, getting out of this relegation battle? Do you think they're all going to be in there towards the end? West Ham, of course, included.
Yeah, I think at the moment, I mean, there's a 5-point gap between Leicester and Palace, and Palace in 12th, Leicester 13th. And at the moment, it's anyone from Leicester, Leeds, Forest, Bournemouth, us, Everton, Wolves, and Southampton. And I think we're all in, we're all looking at each other. Looking at that table. I mean, I don't think Palace or Villa are that good particularly, but they've got that bit of a cushion. But only needs a couple of games a couple of defeats like Palace had last night, like Palace had tonight rather, to come into the game, and that could rope them in it. But nobody's looking that great there. If you look at just looking at the goals there, I mean, Wolves have scored the fewest. Looking at that, then it's Forest, and we've scored the same number of goals as Southampton. What won't be good for Forest and Bournemouth is the fact they're both on minus 21 goal differences.
Yeah,
which is pretty hefty. I mean, obviously it's all minus from Villa downwards, but at least it's single figures pretty much. Everton minus 10, Wolves 16, and Southampton minus 18. Southampton's is pretty dodgy there, but we're on minus 9. Leeds minus 6, Leicester minus 5, Palace minus 8. So that minus 21 might be a little bit on the. It's almost worth an extra point to somebody else, isn't it?
Certainly is. I mean, let's have a quick look at the match stats from the game tonight, and we'll talk quickly about the goals before we call it a day. Leeds 63% possession to West Ham's 37, almost an exact reversal of last week's game against Brentford. 13 shots from Leeds, 5 of which were on target. 15 shots from West Ham, only 2 of which were on target, which I presume were the 2 goals we scored. 7 corners for Leeds, only 1 corner for West Ham, which is an incredibly low figure. Quite interesting. The foul count was relatively high tonight. 11 fouls committed by Leeds, 18 by West Ham, which is probably going to take some beating this season. It was a bit of a feisty game all in all, but let's just have a quick look back at the goals once again. Rio, 27 minutes on the clock. West Ham undone from a throw-in once again. Craig Dawson a little bit asleep, maybe.
I don't think anyone covered themselves in glory defensively, but Craig Dawson especially. I mentioned it twice during the commentary there, that it's very reminiscent of the Diego Maradona goal in 1986 for Argentina. Not because that Leeds scored an absolute worldie with some brilliant close control. It's just everyone seemed to run away from the actual player and just gifted him opportunity to get through on goal and have a crack. And it's very unlike Craig Dawson, who normally can make challenges and is pretty strong. And if he does commit himself, you kind of accept it. But there was no committal, no desire to get the ball. He just stood off, hands down, flounced around a bit. Very poor defending from someone who, over the last 2 or 3 years, has been an excellent servant to us.
1-0 to Leeds after 27 minutes, and then looked like we were going to go into the break with that 1-goal deficit, but then up popped VAR and Lucas Paqueta. Referee didn't give it initially, but a VAR review led to a spot kick being awarded in the final minute of the first half. Lucas Paqueta, I mean, we're talking positives, Rio. I guess that's possibly one of the biggest ones of the night, isn't it? That Paqueta's finally broken, his duck for the Hammers.
I thought his performance in general was really good. A real positive. He put in a shift. He worked hard. Played some really nice passes. I think the biggest blot in his copybook tonight was the stuttering run-up, which could have ended me, to be honest. I'm not used to all that kind of stuff. I'm not keen on it. But obviously, once he actually struck the ball, it was a great penalty. But the stuttering run-up does my nerves no good whatsoever. But overall, really good performance from Paqueta tonight.
1-0 at the interval, and we'd barely kicked off in the second half. Known before West Ham were ahead. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see the goals.
No,
at
not
all yet,
at all.
have you? Okay, I better go back to Rio then. In that case, to mull it over. But what a mistake from Leeds, Rio. I mean, that essentially handed it to West Ham on a plate. That second goal.
Yeah. Coming out from the second half, the last thing as a team you want to do is give away an early chance. And it was just incredibly poor defending from Leeds. The throw-in came in They knocked the ball about a bit, but it went loose. The ball fell to Skamaka without no real effort. And he kind of lackadaisically kind of turned and hit a first-time shot. But it was a fantastic strike right into the bottom corner, off the post. Great strike, but from a defensive point of view, you'd be absolutely fuming. And it's the kind of mistake we're seeing West Ham make time and time again this season. So the first time in history, Leeds have got a little bit of sympathy for me because, yeah, we've seen it far too often ourselves.
I guess at that point we might have been forgiven for thinking West Ham's fortunes had changed a bit, and Lady Luck might have been smiling on us with a penalty awarded and effectively being handed another goal by Leeds, and also via the post. We're actually going our way for once. Of course, we've hit the post so many times, of course, this season. But it wasn't to be. And with 20 minutes of normal time to go, yet again, from a throw-in, West Ham still not learning from their mistakes. Rodrigo from the left-hand side of the box, Rio, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, when the throw-in come in, I can't remember the actual Leeds player who picked the ball up, but he had about 10 yards of space all around him, all the time in the world. No one pressuring him, no one putting any kind of imposing kind of statement to make him play the ball a bit faster and a bit more hurried. He had all the time to pick a pass. Ball went through in between our back four. Again, got caught out. Dawson again was at sea a little bit, and it was a decent finish. But shocking defence on West Ham, and it had acres of space in which to pick his pace.
The point, of course, is that it's a thrilling game end to end. As we said during commentary, one that the neutral will probably have thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, it was anyone could have won it up until the last minute. It literally was the case, because in the space of 90 seconds, Said Benrahma, on as a late substitution, put the ball across from the left, only for Michail Antonio. I just wonder if Antonio was a couple of years younger, whether he might have managed to latch onto that and put. Meslier was beaten, open goal. Antonio just couldn't quite get across to meet it. And of course, with virtually the final kick of the match, a Leeds free kick produced a fabulous save from Lucas Fabianski, who managed to push clear a shot that was gone. And that, of course, only a few minutes after Michail Antonio had averted a Leeds header that was goal bound from underneath the crossbar. Looking at that, were we lucky to take a point, Rio? This does end the that run of defeats, as Noam mentioned a few minutes ago. But can we look upwards from here, or is it still, are we still very concerned?
I'm still concerned. Obviously, Leeds being at home, pressure from the crowd, they're going to go for the winner. And but it's the ease of the two chances they had. If Michail Antonio, he's not renowned for his defensive work most of the time, but he was really well positioned for the header, managed to clear the ball away. And the run at the end, I mean, Lucas Fabianski's come under enormous criticism over the last few weeks, and possibly rightly so. But getting beat in the near post like he did at Arsenal the other week, rightly so. Spilling the ball for Tony to score against Brentford. And his place is under serious threat. But again, he showed why David Moyes has still got a lot of faith in him, because last minute again, he comes up trumps with a really good quality save. It's a bit of a worry that a team like Leeds, who haven't been fantastic this season, still managed to create a lot of chances, and a lot more clinical chances than we did. I know we had, was it 13-7 in their favour, 13-9 in our favour, but they had all the clear-cut ones, really.
Well, interesting. I've just had a look at the XG stat, which is, of course, as we regularly say, Noam's favourite point of the evening. The expected goals tally, and it's almost identical. Leeds XG for tonight's game 1.26, West Ham's 1.29. So interesting. I would kind of agree with you on that, Rio, that Leeds probably had the better chances. That suggests that might not have been the case. It was a very, very even game. But anyway, it has finished 2-2. It's a share of the spoils for each side. Doesn't really do any the teams a great favour. But kind of looking ahead now, no, we've got the Brentford FA Cup game this weekend, and then, well, I mean, you've got to say, arguably two of the biggest games in West Ham's recent history, I suppose, probably going back to Frankfurt last May. We go to Wolves on the 14th of January, and a week later, we're at home to Everton, two games against teams in a very, very similar predicament.
Yeah, two winnable games, particularly the Everton one. I think we really, I think Everton are probably the side that until tonight we're going through the same sort of air of doom, gloom, and despondency. That weren't actually Southampton, and so. But I think there's two winnable games. We can certainly get something out of both of those. We've proved we can go away and get stuff, like for once, get a point. I wouldn't be too upset. We got 4 out of the 6 points there. A point of Wolves and a win home to Everton would be a good return from those 2 games, given what it does to them as well as us. A bit like today, every goal that you score against Everton effectively counts double because it goes in out, it goes plus for us and minus for them. So 2 eminently winnable games. I'm not really going to say much about the FA Cup. I think the situation we're in at the moment, we not saying we don't go for it, we don't go for the win, but I'm not going to be too upset if we lose it at the moment. Let's put it that way.
Okay, fair enough. I guess also the importance of those games, Rio, comes to the fore when you look at the games that we have immediately thereafter. Following the games, discounting the Brentford Cup game and taking into account the Wolves and Everton game. Next 3 games after that are Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, and Tottenham away. On our current form, you can't see us getting many points from those 3, can you?
No, it's not looking pretty at all. I think Noam's absolutely spot on. We've got to look to take at least 4 points on these 2 league games coming up. Not only because we need to get the points on the board, but because of the closeness of the teams that we're playing, it will put us in a really, really difficult, if not impossible, position with the games afterwards coming up. You're looking, if we don't get anything out of the next 2, 5 games, and we're going to basically root ourselves towards the foot of the table. And I think it'd be almost impossible to dig ourselves out because it's the body language and the squad mentality at the moment. The noises from the club are saying like everyone's together, everyone's still in for the battle, everyone's up for it. But there's been a lot of times this season that hasn't looked like the case, and it looks disjointed. We've discussed it before, but there's fingers being pointed, there's heads dropping, and it's happening far too often. So failure to get at least 4 points from the next 2 games, what with the following ones afterwards, I think it's mission impossible after that if we don't get the 4 points.
We've sort of overlooked the cup game a little bit, known, but is that something that we should perhaps be looking to win this weekend and maintain that run? I mean, at the end of the day, winning breeds confidence, doesn't it? If we were to go to Brentford and we're going to get a win, it can only help.
Yeah, I want us to win it, and I want us to have a good cup run. But if it's a case of I'm not going to go all doom and gloom should we lose. Let's put it that way. But no, I want us to win. I think we should go for the win. I mean, it's a free game, isn't it? What's the worst thing that you don't go on to get stitched up by a referee at Anfield in the next round, which is what usually happens. So go for it, go for the win. And but as I say, I'm not going to. It's not going to sort of be wrist slitting time if we don't. Let's put it that way. So,
it's a chance to prove that old adage, isn't it? A lot of people have said over the years, I'd love to see West Ham win the FA Cup. Wouldn't care if we got relegated in the same season. Let's test your metal on that one.
We could be about to find out, couldn't we? And possibly win the Conference League as well. Wouldn't that be something? Win 2 cups and get relegated. I wonder who'd take that.
Trophy go down. Yeah, that would be typical West Ham, wouldn't it?
I'm just having a quick look around Twitter and some of the XG sites. There's some sort of variation on the statistics, but all have West Ham marginally ahead. Sporting Life have West Ham ahead on XG 1.55 to 1.22. And there was another one I found, the XG Philosophy, Leeds 1.41 to West Ham's 1.45. So all of West Ham, I guess if it was a boxing match, West Ham would win on points. But unfortunately, we only got 1 point out of the game tonight. And time will tell, gentlemen, if David Moyes will survive for another day. What are your views on that? Does it change your opinion on the Moyes situation, or doesn't it really, do anything for you either way? Rio, let me ask you first.
I think it just clouds the whole scenario even further for me. As I kind of touched upon, there's no obvious replacement. There's no one who actually stands out with thinking, yeah, I'd want him in, and I think he'd definitely keep us up. Whoever we get in, it's an enormous task. And I think on league form, David is still lucky to be in a job. The goodwill, the European run, has given him a little bit of extra time. I think the goodwill of him coming in for a second time and steadying the ship and keeping us up has earned him a lot of respect from the Bulls. And I get that. I don't want to see a West Ham manager get sacked. But the facts are, over the last year, the league form has been absolutely abysmal. It wouldn't surprise me. It was probably in the bottom 2 or 3 performing teams. I'll have to check that up. But and for once in my life, I don't think I've got a clear, definite answer. Normally, I'd say yes, definitely out, or definitely stay in. I just don't know. The first time my West Ham supporting career, I don't know.
Okay, no.
Yeah, sorry, I've just sort of put my hand up there because I really need to go. Got a family issue to deal with at the moment. Sorry, because I had a message. So
no worries. No worries. Well, you shoot off when you've got to go, and we're going to wrap up very soon anyway.
Sure.
Just very quickly
my
on
man
boys.
of the match goes to the oversized Toblerone anyway. So cheers, guys. Catch up with you soon.
Thanks for joining us. See you, mate. There you go.
Bye.
So there it is. Well, we are going to wrap up anyway, right about now. Even though Noman's had to leave us a few moments early. It's finished Leeds United 2, West Ham 2. Rio, in terms of personnel, David Moyes has tried, you hear people say that he doesn't have a plan B, but I think in the last 2 or 3 games, we've seen the plan B, a plan C, and possibly even a plan D put into effect. What have we learnt from tonight? Does Said Benrahma deserve a place? Is the course of Fabianski's replacement premature? And has Pablo Fornals perhaps fought his way back into a starting position?
I think out of those 3 situations, I think the biggest one is the Pablo Fornals needs a bit more of a run out in the first team.
Yeah. Just
for his industry more than anything. I mean, let's take away his finishing, because tonight that was Conference League, wasn't it? But his work rate, his industry, and his passing ability really would be an asset to the team at the moment. For the team that's struggling to break teams down, because we've been struggling to break teams down all season. So adding someone into the mix that can do that would be a real bonus for me. And someone who works their what's names off game in, game out. Said Benrahma, I still think he's too enigmatic for me. He put the great ball in at the end there for Antonio, but you just can't trust him over 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And how long has he been with us now? 2.5 years?
Yeah.
And I still look at him and think, you just don't know what you're going to get. There's a lot about him I like, but there's a lot about him that frustrates me. And I think this is why he hasn't cemented the place in David Moyes' lineup. He wants players he can continually trust, continue rely on. And Said just doesn't give that sense of satisfaction, that sense of reliability. Excuse me. As for the Fabianski thing,
yes.
One save at the end, albeit a fantastic one, doesn't cloud the fact that he's been woefully off form since the return from the World Cup, and he's looked a little bit shaky. If I was Alphonse Areola, I'd be looking at the manager's door going, what more have I got to do? Why do I need to prove myself? Give me an opportunity to play in the league week in, week out. I think his distribution's better. I think as a shot stopper is better. And I think he's earned the right to play and be our number 1.
Okay, well, there it is. That's just about it for Eyes Up Mother Brown this evening from Ellen Road. It's been quite an exciting evening, all in all. Probably more so if you're a neutral than a West Ham fan. It hasn't quite gone our way in the end, but let's look at the positives. We've put an end to that dismal run of consecutive defeats. still 6 in a row without winning the Premier League. But of course, that, you know, an important point. If we'd have lost tonight, we would have been in the bottom 3. We've managed to stay out. Late goal from Aston Villa means that, you know, we're not in the bottom 3. Wolves held to a draw, and it looked like they might take 3 points. First goal, of course, for Lucas Paqueta. And good to see Gianluca Scamacca, who's looks a little bit down in the dumps in recent weeks, scoring an absolutely fabulous goal. I think that's only his 3rd goal in the Premier League, isn't it, so far? So a really good goal. And lovely to see us, the post going in our favour for a change. Shot hitting the post and cannoning back into the goal, which it hasn't been doing, well, all season practically. VAR working for West Ham again as well. So some encouraging signs. Will it be enough to save David Moyes? We'll have to see. Will it be enough to change anybody's opinion about David Moyes? Almost certainly not. The debate will rage on. If you want to see or become part of that debate, get onto the KUMB.com general discussion forum and join in the David Moyes thread. It's very, very lively on there at times, but everyone's sharing their opinions. We're treating each other with a bit of respect, which perhaps doesn't happen all over social media, but we try and keep it to a certain degree of respectability on KUMB. So if you want to come and join in and have your say, feel free to do so. Everyone offered a platform on the forum there. Apart from that, get yourself onto the match thread tonight. It's going to be lots of discussion about what's been going on tonight. We've already seen it already while we've been chatting here. Said nearly 1,200 users on the forum commenting right on the final whistle, which is pretty high numbers, I can tell you, for a match day. So lots of people with things to say. We'll be back at the weekend. Rio, are you over to Brentford, or will you be available for an eyes up this weekend?
I will be available. My away days look like they've come to an end. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's all good for us, I suppose, from a selfish perspective, because we get you on here. So that's good, because we obviously enjoy the bants. So we shall be back anyway. Rio and myself, possibly one or two others. Maybe Nick will be back at the weekend as well for the FA Cup trip to West London for that tie with Brentford. But it's finished 2-2 at Ellen Road. West Ham a goal behind, coming back to take the lead, and then succumbing in the 70th minute and not able to. So close. Mickey Antonio almost winning the game. Almost losing it though, and Lucas Fabianski having to make that incredible save in the final few seconds. Thank you to everybody for your company on the live stream. Thank you as always for all your comments down there. We really appreciate it and keeps the stream going. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking of the game while we're banging on about it here, getting excited and despondent in equal measures. That's it. We're going to be back at the weekend. Come and join us again if you're not at the Brentford game. If you are going over there, have a safe journey. Get behind the boys, and who knows, we might even win a game of football for a change. It's been a while, isn't it? Until then, take care of yourselves. We'll see you all very soon from me and Rio and the rest of the gang. One of them. Come on, you irons.
Oh, yes.